here's the thing you gotta understand about movies in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll make these movies, they'll pay these actors shitty wages, they'll pay the writers shitty wages, you feel me? And then the movie will gross millions upon millions upon millions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How many of these movies are niggas going back to after you see it in theaters, after you watch it the first time?
What comes to mind when you're saying that? Like, what movie has got you feeling
Like, for
this
example,
way?
right? The Mortal Kombat movie that dropped. I remember niggas watch
That's
that
such a
shit one
gimmicky
time.
ass
was
movie.
not
Like,
like,
who's really
nah,
watching
nah,
that, though?
The most recent one. Watch that shit, never trying to watch it again. You seen Barbie?
Nah.
I haven't, but I heard
seen
good
it
things
yet.
about it.
Would never watch it again.
Have you watched it?
Did. Would
Was
never
it a
watch
good
it
movie?
again. It was good. Would never watch it again. Have zero reason to ever watch that movie again.
I mean, you gotta let enough time go by.
Like, no, because you remember when you were younger, right? You would watch, like, there's movies from my childhood, right? Like something like The Land Before Time. I watched that movie whenever. Great movie.
Are you talking about the dinosaur shit?
Yeah, great movie. You feel me? Like, there's movies even when like I was a kid and I would watch like some like shenaniganery type movie, like fucking like The Mask Returns or whatever.
You wouldn't believe.
I would watch that shit again because it was funny. There was funny things in there where I'm just like, oh, that's kind of iconic. That's kind of camp. You feel me? I want to go back to it. These movies nowadays, it's like shit happens. I'm just like, I'm not trying to watch it again. And I feel like they're like movies now are too gimmicky, like, but not in a good way though.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
How frequently would you rewatch a movie? Like, what's the time in between time intervals that you would go?
Like, for all right, so Pete, right? When's, like, you know John Wick?
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation about this last night. John Wick, I feel like John Wick's gas. You seen the movie?
No.
Seen parts of the first
Never
one.
seen the first one. Watch the first one. And you'll understand what I mean. You could go back to that movie whenever. It's just gas.
You know what movies I
It's not
actually
even the most
rewatched
entertaining
this
movie.
week?
It's just like something you could even just have playing in the
Interesting.
background. But like these other movies, I feel like I wouldn't even want to have them in the background.
Nah, but I'm saying, so you go see the movie for the first time. How far in between that first time you seen it, are you gonna go back and go watch it?
I
At
think
least
that
a year.
I think nah. Sometimes it's shorter than that. You feel me?
Really?
Like the movie that I saw most recently that I feel like I would be like, okay, word, let me like watch this again when I get an opportunity is maybe like, I mean, I guess like the Puss in Boots movie that came out. Most recent one. That shit was gas.
That's
What
surprised.
the
I didn't.
That shit was gas, and I would want to watch it again.
You watched it like what, the following week?
Nah, I watched it once, and I'm like planning on watching it again with my nephew. I was like, I want to watch this movie
Planning on
again.
watching it again.
And I was like, let me just give myself an excuse to watch it. But I'm gonna watch it before I watch it with him, just so I can make sure I'm hip.
Like, what's your favorite movie?
My
I mean, that's
favorite
like
movie?
very hard to ask, but like,
Off the top,
like
yeah,
for
I
me,
don't
for
even
example,
know, bro.
The Dark Knight.
That's your favorite movie?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite movie.
I went back to
is-
it this week. I watched the whole trilogy because I'm like a big fan of Christopher Nolan.
My favorite movie is the SpongeBob movie.
Nah, he's being dead ass though.
I'm gonna say for
I can
me,
imagine
That's
he is,
timeless
bro.
cinema.
But that's not good movie. That's not a
You're
good movie.
bugging.
bro.
You're bugging.
That's not
That's timeless cinema.
Sure, but
Nah, because here's the thing.
outside
can't
of you
say
being
nothing
a
about
kid
that, bro.
during
I
that
can't
Nah,
say
bro,
era,
nothing.
I've
there's
watched
no.
that movie. Bro, I've watched that movie so many times as an adult. It's gas.
Now something I was gonna bring up. I was
It's
like, I don't know
gas.
if it's like a mentality thing where it's like when you're younger,
Mm.
you absorb it one way. So then as you get older, you receive or you absorb the movie differently. So I'm like, some of the movies you're bringing up, it's
SpongeBob,
like you're
no.
seeing it as a grown man.
Bro,
and you're like,
'cause it's a timeless
Puss in Boots,
classic.
I'm gonna watch it again.
It's a movie about growing pains, you feel me? And how difficult it is to be seen in one light as a child, but working on adult shit in your life and then still being seen as a child and other people not having that validation, bro.
SpongeBob?
That nigga wants to be the manager of the Krusty
yeah,
Krabs.
yeah.
Think
too.
about it,
Yeah,
man.
the
You
funny
rewatch
type
this
shit,
shit.
He
yeah.
wants to be the manager of the Krusty Krab too, and then that nigga Mr. Krabs is like, no, bro, you're a kid. That nigga goes on a whole fucking journey
Whole
to save the
mission.
entire town, and then that nigga still is like looking at him like a
I'm
kid.
still
It's
a
not until
goofy-ass
it's not
goober,
until
nigga.
he saves that nigga's life, and then that nigga has to be like, nigga, there's nothing wrong with being a kid. You can be a kid and still be a real nigga. You can be a kid and still be having like adult situation that you gotta handle.
Bro, you should
There's
do
nothing
movie
wrong with that.
reviews.
No,
I fuck with that movie, bro.
That's so deep. I was like, oh shit.
Because that's real.
You
Like,
didn't get that from the movie?
I did
That's
get
the-
it.
that's
I also
the
haven't
plot.
watched it.
it's
in a
that
very-
profound.
I haven't watched it in a
That's
very
the
long
plot.
I
time.
remember it's David Hasselhoff.
no bullshit.
His shoulders, like his shoulder blades splitting up and
no bullshit,
everything.
nigga. He's like, I wrote the Hasselhoff. And bro, like, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
timeless.
putting it up on my list, but what about you, Yves? What comes to mind?
City of God.
I knew you was gonna say that,
Nigger.
and I watched it.
I mean, you knew that because we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
I think it was
City
a
of
different
God's gas,
concept. It was a
though.
different type of movie. It was a specific like category. I feel like, or maybe it was just movies. But City of
We're
God is
talking
great.
about black classics.
I ended up. Oh yeah. And I ended up
Brazilian
watching.
Black?
Hood classics. And then you said City
Yeah,
of God.
what
It
is
was like,
hood
that's not a
classic?
hood classic.
Yeah.
But it's
It
a
is.
good movie,
That's what
though.
we
It's a
talked
great
about.
movie, but it's not a hood
that's what
classic.
we was.
It's not an
It is.
American hood
How the
classic.
fuck can it be? It's not any hood's
It's
classic.
the favelas,
Them
bro.
niggas
What do
don't
you
watch
mean?
that shit
That's
over
the
there.
hood,
They're
nigga.
not watching that shit over there, nigga. Them niggas were exploited for that film. They're not
They
watching that
was.
shit.
They was. They was.
Wait, what's the backstory? They was exploded.
All the extras and
They're
shit.
not
They're
getting
not
paid very
watching
well
that.
for that
They're
shit.
not watching that shit, bro.
Yeah, why
But
we
it was
gotta
an
pay
indie
y'all to
film,
just
that's why.
live, nigga? What the fuck? What the fuck? Just keep doing what y'all
But
doing.
no,
We
that's-
just gonna keep
it
the
was
cameras
It
rolling.
was
Imagine
an
they made
indie
City-
film. I don't think they expected it to get that big.
Facts. Imagine they made
That-
City of God Part 2 in Cape Verde.
They had a part
It
two,
wouldn't
which
be
was
as
like a
busting.
documentary series.
I'm not gonna lie. Actually,
Cape
maybe.
Verde?
Nigga said it wouldn't be that good.
Hey, they gotta go to Haiti, bro. There's some shit going on over there, nigga. No bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think
they-
niggas go there, they ain't coming back, bro.
They might not. They really
No
might not.
bullshit.
You want to
Man,
drop
but
this
that's-
movie? You gotta.
That's one of them.
Quick
I think
deposit to the
Paprika
government.
is right up there too.
Which one?
Paprika. And that's
that?
like this
Oh, that-
animated film. It's like
The anime
It's like-
shit. I know what you're talking about. I watched that shit.
it's
after you
very
told me
similar. I
about
think it came up before Inception, actually.
it did. That's
And
where
I
they
think
got
Inception
the
bit that
concept.
shit.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a really good movie.
You
That's
know what I
hip-hop,
heard
though.
is super big in Brazil, and the only reason I know this is because I started watching the show again, and it made me realize how underrated this
Your
show
mom be
is.
watching Brazilian soap operas?
My mom does. I don't watch.
That's
that
what
shit.
he
No,
asked.
yeah.
What?
That's what he
I
asked you.
What was the question?
Does
Your mom be watching
Oh, for
Brazilian
sure.
soap operas?
He said,
Yeah,
For
my mom
fellas?
does.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. What? Of course.
That's
Not as
what-
much.
I just-
You
I
never
just
watched it
know.
with her?
Not as. No, bro.
So that shit's bad.
No. That's probably the worst aspect of my childhood, bro. After 8 o'clock, I couldn't watch TV, bro. Like she was hogging that shit to watch her shit.
Nigga, she paying that shit.
I feel you, but
Good
it's
shit.
like, damn.
She was having a good time.
If I knew Portuguese, maybe it would have been
But
busted.
nah, so what's this thing talking about?
Everybody
Brazil?
Hates Chris. I think Everybody Hates Chris
Really?
is a top 5 sitcom, bro.
You're
You saying
smoking
in
crack.
Brazil they love it?
No, it's mad popular in Brazil, bro.
Brazil?
To the point that what's it
I
called?
also
Tyler
just said-
James Williams had to like disable his comments because mad Brazilians like flood his comments and like be
Bro,
Nah,
Brazil
niggas
got
got
mad black
Niggas
people
gotta
over
watch
there.
the Brazilian version, bro. No bullshit. It's probably way funnier.
It's
Maybe.
super popular there, bro. Like you wouldn't even know. It's dumb popular.
That's
in
because it's
Brazil.
popular. How is it being popular in Brazil make it a top 5 sitcom?
No, I'm not. I'm saying when you talked about City of God, it made me
Remind you?
It reminded me of that. But no, it's a top 5 sitcom because I just don't know how many other shows were really giving me that perspective from a
So it's
black
top
kid,
5 for
bro.
you.
I think it's the top 5 all time because it's mad funny, bro. It like
You're
it's-
wrong.
No.
It's not even touching top 10, bro.
Niggas just having
There's
a
way better
discussion.
sitcoms than that show.
I disagree.
Like I think most sitcoms are better than Everyday's Chris. Everyday's Chris is like very middle of the road sitcom.
I disagree.
Even
wait,
amongst, like,
what
the
do you
black-
put it? What are you putting up in the top 5?
Malcolm in the middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, I think is
This
better
is the
than
black
Everyday's Chris.
version of Malcolm
No,
in the
no,
Middle,
no,
bro.
it doesn't touch Malcolm
in the Middle is way better than
As a
Everyday's
black
Chris.
man,
I'll
I'd
for
rather
it.
watch Malcolm in the Middle.
Like, so, My
Malcolm
Wife and
in the Middle
Kids.
is
My Wife and
amazing.
Kids is better
Malcolm
than
in the Middle
Everyday's
wasn't in
Chris.
my rotation. I'm not gonna
My
lie.
Wife and
You
Kids
missed
is
out.
better
You
than
should watch
Everyday's
it.
Chris.
My wife kids
You
is
should watch
great,
it.
but my wife and kids has
Easily.
like 2 locations.
Me personally, I'm gonna put
So?
up.
It got the kitchen, the living room, and then the bedrooms. Like
Yeah,
that's
I was
it.
about to say, you
This
got
shit
that
don't
bedroom
leave the
suite.
house, bro. This shit don't leave
You
the
got
house.
the fucking Michael
So,
Jordan
like, that's
fucking
it.
shit in the closet.
Like,
So?
you get a whole.
It's a sitcom.
Nah, but you get
Why do
New
you need
York,
multiple
like-
locations?
Like,
Nigga,
even-
Seinfeld
You get the
is
driveway.
Seinfeld is the greatest
Where you
sitcom
talking
of all
about
You're not
time.
leaving
the
the block, bro.
garage,
Come
Junior's
on.
room,
The
nigga.
garage.
Facts, no bullshit. Seinfeld's the greatest sitcom of all time, and there's really
I'm
like
not
3
jacking that.
locations.
I'm not jacking
I'm
that.
not hit.
I'll say
Nigga, you not
that's
jacking
the
it?
Godfather of
Niggas say that, but I
sitcoms.
ain't
I'm
watch
not
it.
jacking.
Nigga, it's the best one. That shit's funny as fuck. You ever just sit there and watch that shit and just be like, yo, these niggas is really doing nothing, bro. This is hilarious.
Funny to who?
To me, nigga, I think this shit's hilarious. And also to most people who watch sitcoms. That's the reason why time and time again it's ranked number 1.
I don't
It's
know.
like being like The Sopranos, not the one of the best TV shows of all time
Niggas was
because you don't
saying-
like it. That doesn't mean shit, nigga. It's still
I
one of
didn't
the
say
greatest.
that.
Niggas just having discussion.
Have you
What's
ever-
better,
you
The
watched it
Wire or
last night?
Sopranos?
And nigga, The Sopranos,
The
bro. I'm
Wire.
sorry, nigga. That shit's a fuzz.
The Wire.
The Wire is not better.
I couldn't
So
get
it's
through
mixed.
season 1.
So
I'm
it's
not
like a
gonna
split
lie.
answer.
But
I can't say The Wire is better because The Wire be kind of inconsistent.
The Wire is a slow burn. Like you have to
Nah.
get through a good chunk of the episode.
season 2 of The Wire is
before-
chips,
I was
bro.
saying I feel like The Wire is better, but I feel like Sopranos is funnier.
Type season
No
2 of The Wire is
bullshit.
chips. I'm sorry.
Is that the one with the doc?
Yeah, like that's just chips. Like I was not like it's crucial information, but I'm
Yeah.
not watching. that
Anytime
shit.
they get away from the black kids, it's not busting.
He said
The more
that.
they focus on like when they start, Marlo or what was his it was just Alba's character Stinger.
Sling, yeah, it was
Yeah,
a stringer,
Stringer, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like season 2 just wasn't that good.
When they killed what's his name? Stringer's not Stringer's cousin. What's the dude's cousin? In jail.
Who?
Remember when they
oh Poot,
No.
no, not Poot. Poot was the young
Nah,
one.
the nigga.
I know you're talking about the one that came out in the first season.
Yeah, what's the,
I know
what
you're
the fuck was that
talking
nigga's name? bro? The bald nigga.
No,
Not Angelo.
Avon. There's Avon Barksdale
think
and
it-
then there's D'Angelo. I'm
I
talking
think
about
it is
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo's
Yeah,
death got me
D'Angelo.
fucked up. I'm not gonna hold you.
Bro, nigga, what?
Nigga
They
became a
killed my
fiend
nigga Michael
in
B.
jail.
Jordan, bro. That's fucked up too, nigga.
Yeah, that was
They
wild.
said,
nigga.
nigga, what?
Yeah,
It
when
was
they
crazy.
killed,
It was crazy. I
Nigga,
they
what? I was gonna
kill
say
him.
they set that nigga up just to kill him.
do it hit
I'm killing
more
Omar
different
was
for you because
crazy,
you
too.
know? Wait. When you watch The Wire and you seen Michael B. Jordan's death,
Nigga
did you
spoiled.
already have a good idea of who Michael B. Jordan is as an actor and everything?
No.
Why would that even change how you?
And also, it doesn't matter.
It
nigga.
makes it a little
Bro,
bit more significant. Like,
they-
oh, that's Michael
it
B.
was
But
other
like, if it's a
teenagers-
regular kid, you be
No,
like,
it's
oh,
his
let me give
character
him-
in the show, bro.
Nigga,
He was
Wallace,
a good
huh?
kid in the
Facts.
show, bro. No
He
bullshit.
was only doing that shit because he needed money to feed his family, bro.
You seen how fucked up he was living, bro?
He was living fuck. He had to raise
And
all
That
he-
his
other little
certain
arrogant
shit-
nigga, he ain't die, bro.
Facts.
No
And that nigga should
bullshit.
have died. That nigga the only one that
He
survived.
was
Fuck that
tweaking.
nigga.
Hootie was the one with the folded ass hairline, right?
Nigga said booty.
He was the nigga
That
that was always
poop.
saying some like type philosophical shit on the corner. He's just like, you know, he's like, I forgot his phrase. What's his phrase? He was like,
I don't know, nigga.
that is true.
Hey, bro,
Or
one of
some
these
shit.
days I'm gonna watch The Wire. One of
You
these
got
days.
to. Honestly,
Yo,
He
fuck
ain't never
with it.
gonna watch it.
I'm head.
One day.
Yo,
One of these
that's
days.
what
I'm
he's
not
talking
even
about shows.
past
He was
season.
like, he was
This
like, how
year.
y'all be watching all these shows?
No bullshit.
You gotta watch them,
I'm
nigga.
saying.
With your eyes and ears, nigga. Your attention.
Nah. It was more so Wendy I had a time.
Nigga,
Sit
you
down
always
and
have the
watch
time.
Bro, what
all
you be
these shits,
doing, bro?
Not watching TV.
your girl, no. The time with your girl is the perfect time to watch TV shows because you was already gonna like plan not to work.
Type, we have, but like more recent shit. Like fucking, what was that shit with the niggas with the elevator and they go to work? Severance.
Severance. Oh,
That
you
was a-
finally found
that was-
Severance?
that was good. You watched that a minute ago. That was good.
Yeah, that was
a good
a
show.
good one. I just watched
I ain't watched
the
that
Idris
shit.
Elba's like Apple TV show. It's a Hijack. That's pretty good.
I ain't watching none of these
I
shits.
was
See,
like-
when y'all hear y'all say like, yo, how y'all watching these shits,
Because
nigga?
y'all niggas is watching
Yo,
some
I was watching this
bullshit.
video, bro, and it really was breaking down shit to me. It was like TV is very bad now, bro. No bullshit.
Oh, God.
Severance
Because
is
it's
good
like
television.
a lot of niggas is just trying to make movies into shows, like,
Facts.
and it just don't work.
Shit's
You
not
feel me?
really
Like it's
shows.
just like the storylines
That's
is
funny,
like
bro.
it's too the way it's broken up is bad. No bullshit.
I will admit, yeah, with this show Hijack, it didn't get good until like literally the last episode. Because you got to
not
imagine,
it.
bro, they make a couple hours on a plane last 8 episodes.
That's
8
not
hours.
it.
Like that's a force,
Bro,
bro.
the thing is,
Yeah.
you know, 24.
Fuck is the story
What's
development in
that?
that
It's
shit?
a little bit
The show
it's a
24.
little bit.
Oh,
It's
I've
on
heard
Fox
about
with
it.
Jack
Yeah.
Bauer and them. Like that's a great show. If you really sit
24.
there and watch it, because it's like the season is shot and it's 24 hours every season. You feel me? And it's like it's basically just like a span of like 8 days or some shit. It's 8 seasons, 24 hours each day. And like this shit.
Wait, each episode is 24 hours or the
Yeah.
whole season is
each episode
I was
is
gonna
an
say,
hour.
If you made every season, I mean,
Each episode is 1 hour.
Okay.
Of that day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That
Them
shit-
niggas is crazy.
That shit's like, God, that shit's fire.
Are there boring ass episodes like, yo,
No.
today we did nothing?
And that's what I'm saying. No.
No,
So that's what I'm
speaking of,
saying. Like for that, it's
shows
like
in
that,
that time, I really fucked with House.
House was buzzing.
No bullshit.
Great show.
I don't know if
House?
you not
Yeah.
hip?
Full House or House?
Nah.
Not
House.
House. It's like the
Oh.
fucking
The
crippled
doctor.
doctor. Like, bro, that shit's
Oh,
fire.
I think I seen that. I
Not
never watched
crippled,
it before,
nigga.
He was.
He had a limp. He walked with a cane.
though.
Feel you.
Nigga,
A part of it was gonna be like still crippled. You gotta watch out.
That nigga House was lit. No bullshit. That was a great show.
Hey, hold up. We gotta do something. Go ahead.
That shit made me embarrassed.
you knew it was coming.
Afraid
Yeah.
to tape
Oh, we in sync right here.
Yeah,
There's
nah.
synchronization right there. Well, hey man, you already know we rocking this bad for the community. It feels good to be back. We got the whole gang with us for the first time in a couple of weeks. And I know
Swag.
this is what the people want. You feel me? Shout out to all of our guests from the past that we've had on. Shout out to Tori. Shout out to Nay. But there's nothing like when you just get the guys together and we just chatting, bro. We just chatting. You know?
The
So-
guys.
So what you been up
Facts.
to? You been
The guys.
was in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I just came back.
Niggas is in Puerto
Fucking-
Rico.
Bro, you was mad
Thursday.
You
productive,
know that
bro.
song?
No.
It's a West Side Gun song. I meant to tell you to play that while
I
he was
can
out
tell
there.
by that annoying ass ad lib. I
I
can
thought
tell.
about it be like Noriega or some shit.
But nah,
You
bro,
said
you
productive?
no, you've been up on mad shit,
Niggas
bro.
be
You went to
bumping
Puerto
that
Rico.
music.
You hosted
Yeah.
a giveaway that turned wrong. Like, yeah, New York going crazy, bro. All the kids was
Facts.
turning up, nigga.
I'm like, what the fuck this nigga talking
Like, why
about?
was you so
giveaway that went
irresponsible,
wrong,
bro?
Arrested
Why
and
ain't you
shit.
I
put
ain't know
no
what this nigga's
permits?
talking about. But nah, Puerto Rico's fire, bro.
So you got
Puerto
out of
Rico's-
jail and then went straight to
Bro.
Puerto Rico?
If you want to talk about that shit, go ask Kai Cenat, bro.
We,
Did it feel
I'm talking
American
to
out
Him,
there?
my nigga.
Very.
That's
That's
crazy.
the part that really surprised me.
It's
And like I
America.
knew.
No, I'm hip. It was crazy.
No, but the thing is, I knew Puerto Rico's like a U.S. territory, but like I wasn't expecting it to be so Americanized. To the
nigga
point
brought
that,
his
like,
money over there. He said, this shit work? Oh, shit.
No, but like nigga, I'm doing Apple Pay everywhere, nigga.
Yeah.
Fucking the Starbucks down the street. I'm like, yo, like.
Well, let's
what the
keep it
fuck?
up.
Nah, there be
Like,
Starbucks in other
are you-
countries though.
Are you
Huh?
in?
So there be Starbucks in other
Nigga
countries.
seen the McDonald's. He's like,
Hey, bro, I just be looking at
Are you in
countries I've been
tourist
to. Ain't no
Puerto Rico,
Starbucks
though?
in Mexico that I saw. Like,
Like, are you on the tourist side of Puerto Rico? Did you like actually
it was
see
kind
the
of hard for me. Well,
more
you got family
rural
there?
areas of it? Because I'm sure
thing
there was no
is,
Apple Pay there.
No. There was certain places I went to that was more like, like you could tell it's more royal, where like, food is mad cheap, and that's when you know, like, okay, yeah, I'm in the right spot right now. The food is like less than 10 bills, nigga. It's like, oh yeah.
You got
and
family over there?
It's a big ass serving. Nah, no family.
Yo,
So I was
So,
with my
so
family.
where'd you stay?
We stayed at some hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So why Puerto Rico?
I didn't make that decision, nigga.
I'm just wondering. You
My
know? It's everywhere but
fucking-
Haiti.
my mother-
but, you know,
Bro, Haiti's not a place to travel to right now. But
No bullshit. I think Cobain said that shit too, nigga.
nah,
I was like,
yeah,
yo.
it's bad.
I don't
right
think
now.
Haiti's been a
Real
place
bad.
to travel to for a while.
minute.
No
A
bullshit.
minute. A couple years ago, you might get away with it. You might get kidnapped, but like, you know what I mean? You take
That's
that
like going to Cape
chance.
Verde, but then niggas
Right
go to
now?
fucking like Fogo or some
Nah,
shit.
not right now.
Fogo.
Nigga, what's it called?
Bro,
What's it called?
Fogo.
Nigga,
yeah.
fuck y'all niggas, bro. I don't give a fuck, nigga.
What is it? Praia.
Yo, put some respect on my country's
I'm not-
name.
you put some respect on your country's name. You go there.
I've been there,
Take
bro.
a trip.
When's the last time you been over there?
2013.
Nigga was,
Yeah, I was
I'm
around
gonna make
Haiti in
another
that
trip
time.
soon. Very soon.
he was barely a teenager at
Yeah.
that time.
But nah, right? I really do think it's very, what's the word? I guess like relaxing. You know, just really being like beachside and like just seeing, you know, everybody outside, being in the nice weather and shit like that. Like me and Tom are working on this shit right now. Mind of a
facts.
hustler, and like I was able to get a
Mhm.
lot of work done just because I was so like separated from like everything that I normally would be doing.
Different environment.
You know what I mean?
Nigga went on vacation to work more. I like it.
That's the point.
Yo,
No,
you got
that's,
the
that's
trilogy?
actually not
Nah,
the
it's a
point.
change of scenery to just kind of inspire you in a different way, bro. You feel me? Like one of the pieces I
Change
finished
the
over there, it's like I
environment.
wouldn't have done it if I wasn't here right now.
So
In
what do
that
you mean
same
by
way.
pieces? Because usually you like you're a photographer. Like are
Yeah.
you, it's all photography.
Yeah.
Because I know you're doing like art. Like you're doing like paintings and
Doing a
stuff.
lot.
Nigga said you're doing art.
Yeah.
He said you're doing photography.
Yeah,
but
I don't
he's
know why he
doing
did
art.
that. Like, he gonna see. He gonna see niggas cooking up some shit. He
I
gonna
didn't mean
see.
it like that. I was just talking like art and
Visual art.
Visual art. I mean, that's
Just say
We had
paintings,
this argument,
nigga.
we had the same conversation with
crafted art.
Sorry.
Paintings,
crafted
bro.
art. No, I'm saying crafted
He said
art.
you got to make your shit by hand.
My shit is off the crafted.
Yeah.
So what's up?
No, it's not.
It will
It's
be.
not.
It's not crafts. Oh, you're making
No,
crafts?
literally.
Nah, some of the stuff he's doing
Literally,
is like hands-on work.
Like
collage stuff?
physically, like pick it up and touch it.
So
Yeah.
why should people be excited about Mind of a Hustler?
Why should it be excited? Because me and Tomo getting together and just,
Because this
really
is a rare
showing niggas what we
occasion.
doing.
You feel me? This is the first of many that's gonna come in the future. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm playing. I was watching that Cameron show too much. But nah, yeah, this is the first of many that's to come. You feel me? It's my first gallery. It's E's second gallery, well, third gallery at this point. No bullshit. But like where he's like the main solo exhibitionist. You feel me? And we're gonna have collaborative efforts. We're gonna have some performances there too. Not typical performances. It's gonna be dope. It's a venue that hasn't been really used by many artists over here. So it's
no one
gonna
that
be-
I know.
At least like of our like age
Circles and
range.
shit.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Type shit.
You know, it seemed to be a common theme in like the past week, and a lot of people seem to co-sign the message. But when I you know spoken on like just how great the Boston mass scene seems to be, you feel me? And it's coming off of a whole bunch of great news. It's like festival announcements, and then the people we see. And usually the main critique is like when you see these festival lineups, it's none of the names that you would want to see. But I feel like a lot of the names that we're seeing now are literally our peers, the people that we've been watching grow and finally like mature to the point where they're on these stages now. And it's legitimately great to see. But I don't know. How does it feel for you?
It's all right.
I think it's
I feel
dope.
like it's a really like, I'm not saying it's not valid, but I think that, because I think that there's also like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that's allowing people to like really like elevate themselves into that like category of like, you know, performing artists. A lot of times people are like artists, whatever, but it's like there's a lot of performing artists where it's like you really have to see them perform. I think that's really dope. But I also know that like
yeah.
that's been the case for a long time. Niggas is just getting older. And so you're being more exposed to it because it's more of your peers doing it and not people that you don't know.
You've
for
never
example,
had,
right?
no.
PPP.
I haven't
break it
heard you
down for
complain before
Let me
about
break it down
lineups.
for you,
All
though.
right, let's hear it.
Because we were talking today about Still Gold Fest, right? And you were like, you were like, when we talked about Billy Dean Thomas, you didn't know who that was.
I did not.
But like that whole row, right? The person that's next to them is Oompa. The person that's next
know
to them
Oompa.
is Van Buren.
Yep.
And you know Van Buren because you grew up
course.
with some of them.
Of course.
Right.
Shout out to the 508.
You know Oompa, why?
Because she's been doing her thing for a minute.
Right.
That's not
but
why you know
That's
her.
not why you know her.
I
though.
do.
You know her because niggas told you about her.
That's not true.
That's
Nigga,
okay.
you was not hip to Oompa.
Like I'm saying, when you first,
Wait,
I feel like when you
hold on,
first
hold on,
did the
hold on.
pod, you didn't know who that
You
was.
was not hip to Oompa because I wasn't even hip to Oompa. And I'm from here, nigga. So
Wait. But like, first of all, saying that is like
But
anything.
No, but that's
anything
not-
you're gonna
but
be
it's different,
introduced by
though.
somebody.
But that's not
bro.
what I'm. Did you, nigga?
No,
what?
but
you know,
you didn't have.
you
That's what I'm
know,
saying. You didn't have to
I
be
think you're not
introduced to
seeing what he's
niggas
saying.
from.
Okay, wait.
because
saying
you
that
know
essentially,
them.
like,
you grew up with them.
They put Oompa on your radar.
type shit.
It's not like you just
Oompa put
randomly woke
herself
up
on
one
the
day.
radar,
That's
bro.
cap.
Like I seen
told
collaborations
you.
that she
Hey,
was doing,
bro, I'll
videos
speak
that
for
she was
myself.
posting.
You put me on to Oompa.
Like,
I didn't know who that
regardless,
was prior
and
to
even if
you
that's
mentioning
not, and
who
even
she
if that's
was.
not the case, someone told you about her first.
Someone told me about everybody, bro.
Not Van Buren, nigga. You know them niggas.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like
what I'm
they were in
saying.
proximity of, you know who put me on the E.T. Malari, nigga. No
Know me?
bullshit. And this was before they was
freshman
even
year.
doing
Yeah,
Van
freshman-
Buren.
Back
No
when he was
bullshit.
Bico Vanguard, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't. That's crazy. That was the name.
Yeah,
know
the
that?
freshman
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
That's what he's playing, bro.
But yeah,
And so what I'm saying is that like it's niggas that are like they've been doing this for a long time. A lot of people have been doing this for a while,
That's a good
but they're
point.
like outside of like your age range. They're outside of our age range to be like informed about the work that they're doing. So now because it's people that we know of, it's like, oh word, like yo, like we're really doing this. But it's like it's been being done. Now it's just like kind of like a changing of the guard in some
see what you're
ways. You
saying.
feel me? A transition. But I think that it's always been happening. Not always, but it's been happening for like the last like 10 or so years. I mean, it's just now getting to like where we're at. And it's like
Yeah.
even I would say that even at the same time as it's happening for people around our age, it's happening for people that are like almost 10 years younger still.
Yeah,
You feel me?
facts.
Like at the same time, which is cool.
I think that's the most amazing part about it is seeing all the young artists, no bullshit. Just seeing all the artistry coming out the city from all these different types of mediums. No bullshit. Yeah.
I mean, I'll say
Jinx.
especially in the visual arts.
You didn't have complaints about Boston Collins lineups in the past?
Yeah, but
Nigga,
that's
and
Boston
I
Calling
never
though,
fuck with
because
Boston Calling.
because them niggas is taking up resources. I don't like that. Taking up resources to not have like to not put local niggas on or have local niggas engaged. That feels.
You don't think it'll be a little bit different next time around? Like the next time Boston Calling comes around because of
Chelsea.
everything
I'm not
that's been
gonna lie.
bubbling, that
If I was Boston
it'll probably
Calling,
be more Boston oriented?
if I was Boston Calling, bro, I would not be doing this. I would change that name to like Massachusetts Calling and just do that shit somewhere else.
That name does not
Mm.
sound bussin'.
I'll just do like there's no reason like looking at the headliners that they be having, like I feel like there's no reason for them to be doing that in Massachusetts. Like at least not here in Boston. Do that shit in like or in like proximity to Boston. Do that shit in like some other part of the state where
I
you
think
can
it's
get a big
because
ass
there's a
field.
fan base for it out here. So they just do it here.
Niggas will drive over there, get a big ass field.
No
And just
bullshit.
go.
Niggas go to the Xfinity Center all the time. Like,
Facts.
Mansfield,
Well,
yeah.
Mansfield,
That's
that's
like-
what it is. Yeah.
it's like wouldn't really be a
I
festival.
never been there.
Not a Drake fan.
Nah,
But you know what I mean? Type shit. And so one of the things that I'm noticing right now is that we're starting to see like almost like a transition, like that changing the guard. You feel me? Where a lot of the older artists are getting into a position where it's like they're either like leaving or they're like transitioning their way out by like finding people to like pick up like the mantle that they were holding before, which is really dope.
And it's our time, nigga.
That's an interesting perspective.
I mean,
I didn't look at it
what
that
do you mean
way.
our
But everything
time?
you're saying is actually
Our
very
generation's
valid.
time.
Okay.
But also, I also
like
think the reason,
That's hip hop.
yes, it's been around. Like this is, I understand what you're saying. Like we're only being privy to it because like this is our peers now.
And I'm
But
be
I also,
real, I'm
but I
only
also
saying,
think
I'm,
it's
I'm
because
using that we real lightly and real like generously because I've been hip. I'm only saying we because I'm like, all right.
But I
Also
also
been hip to a lot of the visual art niggas too for a long time.
Yeah.
But
you
you
ain't
don't
even
also think
introduce
like
us, nigga. No bullshit.
What he said?
So you didn't even introduce us, nigga.
Yeah, we went straight to it. We back. We got the whole game.
Finish
Nah,
it.
he said we got the whole team.
I said we got the
Feel me.
guys back. You feel me? They
Then he
know.
only asked
If you
about
know, you
Yves
know.
shit.
If it's their first episode, I mean, I don't know what to tell them. Go back another episode.
Look at the
Go
bottom.
back. Go, huh?
When he said we look at the bottom of the screen when he said it, our names are there. Go back, rewind it.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be on the thing. But hey, man, 50 years of hip hop, the anniversary. I feel like a lot of what we do is attributed to this culture of hip hop.
Facts.
And I don't know if I'm the person I am without hip hop. I don't know if maybe y'all could say the same thing. But what does that shit mean to you?
That's hip hop.
That's hip hop.
Hip hop is everything,
No
bro.
bullshit.
Great
yeah.
segue. Yeah.
It's primarily been like what I listened to my entire life for real.
And what was that? Like, what was your first exposure? Like, what do you remember? Like, yo, this person really introduced me to hip hop.
Yo, my cousin Gary, bro, nigga was showing me Lil Wayne and Eminem and shit. But
This
like
is rap.
before that, I was listening to music, but it's like I'm listening to music on the radio instead of searching up my own music. So then I remember I got a MP3 player and niggas was hip to LimeWire. So I just went on LimeWire and I was finding mad shit. I'll just search an artist, like I'll search Lil Wayne or Soulja Boy. Even before that, I remember
I was about to say, you kind of late if you saying Soulja Boy.
kind of late. That's like 07.
07?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm.
Like, you 8 at that point.
Through seeing that, like just all that shit, Kid Cudi on MTV, shit like, bro, I don't know. Like I found out, like I feel like I was tapped in through ringtones and shit like that too. But it was never through like downloading my own music. I always had to go use my mom's phone or like use the radio or some shit. Or like, but then once I got old enough to have my own like MP3 player, it's like, all right, I'm searching shit up, I'm finding shit. You feel me? But even before that, it's just like seeing like Kanye and shit. I remember watching Diamonds Are Forever on like I was really encapsulated about music videos. No bullshit. Them shit used to catch my attention. Seeing all that, seeing day and night video, all that shit. For me.
Yeah, day and night video is hard. Nigga had the sun and the moon. And it was like
Music choice, nigga. That shit.
Music choice. That was a
MTV,
big part
bro.
of my child. No
I ain't
bullshit.
watched
Just
that.
running
It's so
through
bad.
all of that. You feel me? Anytime like an artist was like the music choice, artist of the month, and then all their videos would be at
106 in Park, nigga.
niggas
Yeah.
ain't have cable.
To the
Yeah,
point
I feel that.
that you was about to like bring up with Toma like being late. I feel like I was introduced to it very late. Naturally, I think coming from like a immigrating household, it's like that's not my mother's culture.
What type of music
I mean,
you
like-
bump when you was a kid?
When I was a kid,
Like what was being played around you?
a lot of Caribbean music. Honestly,
Okay.
yeah, like you go to the parties and there'll be a
Compa.
lot of Caribbean music. I didn't really start hearing like hip hop shit or like rap shit until like I was visiting my cousin Stanley out in New Jersey, and he used to bump KRS-One, bro.
Even when you went to school,
No
you wouldn't hear
bullshit.
rap music.
Cousin Stanley.
radio.
I'm talking about like 6, 7 years old. So I don't really
Yo.
recall. I don't remember. Like I
In
probably heard
elementary
radio
school,
shit.
they played
Radio
that
shit, but,
Nas
like-
song every day.
I
would hear your
know.
Pledge of Allegiance, bro.
That's
No
crazy.
bullshit.
That's
They did.
crazy.
They did.
See, nah,
No bullshit.
definitely not.
I
I
went
don't hear
to
like
young
radio
shooters.
shit, but like in terms of like actually like even hearing like niggas swearing and shit like that, and like putting onto my own ears, it
Niggas
was
was
definitely
like,
like
whoa, niggas can say this on
with KRS-One, bro.
KRS-One.
Yeah, bro. I don't like that nigga because of that.
Because he was swearing.
Nah, not because he was swearing.
'Cause
It's
that's
just
his
like,
first
bro, what the fuck
introduction.
was this nigga?
Oh.
As a kid, I'm like, what is this nigga talking about?
Mm.
It was too much for me to like
wasn't
absorb.
there.
all at once, yeah.
But like, yeah, nah, he was definitely the nigga that like segued me into like,
How old was your
Listening to
cousin
it.
when he was bumping that?
oh, he's probably I'm 20, like a 20-year difference.
Oh,
So he's
shit.
probably like
Yeah, cousin
23,
Stanley was
24.
elderly,
Like,
bro.
You got
bro, that nigga used to
Stanley.
be doing like mad fucking calisthenic workouts, but he's one of them niggas, bro. Like,
Oh, you one of them prison
you
niggas.
feel
bro.
me? Like, he
doing the prison
go to
workouts
jail, bro.
and
But it's
shit.
like,
he doing the prison workouts
you don't
in the
eat no
park and
fast
shit.
food, bro. Just straight fruit diet. He's one of them niggas, bro. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like,
Kendrick.
shout out my cousin, bro. No bullshit.
We got Stanley. We got Gary. I feel like my Uncle Rob is the main. Why is that funny? Why is that funny?
Yeah.
I was named after
Why you
him,
think
so
he's Young
Yeah,
Rob?
no bullshit.
that really was the reason for Young Rob. But now, like, my first exposure was like, everybody knows this is like Bow Wow, Lil Romeo, because as a kid, like that's what I'm seeing
Yeah,
on Music
facts.
Choice and like Nickelodeon, the Romeo show. That shit was lit. Like, but it was really
That shit was
him
not
who.
lit.
When I'm in the car with my Uncle Rob and he's playing all this shit from the 90s. He's got CDs on CDs on CDs. He's getting me hip to Nas, Rakim, even T.I. and Ludacris. And I'm seeing all of these, artists in. And
Yeah.
I'm appreciative for him for even putting that, just exposing me to that. Cause I feel like a lot of people like get exposed to rap, but not the 90s, not
I miss
80s, not
CDs.
the
Yeah.
origins of this shit.
It's like kind of on you to like go back and like discover all that shit.
And I try
Yeah,
to
I
play
feel
it. I was playing like I don't know. I went to go pick up my girl and I was just listening to 90s shit and I was just inspired to. And then she hopped in the whip, killed my vibe. She lowered the music. I was like, nigga,
Why she lowered?
because it
She-
doesn't hit
she's
for
like, I
her
don't
like
like
it
this.
hit for me. You feel me?
I mean, what was you playing?
But she also is not like American type shit.
That is true. She's Cape Verdean.
But
But
you an American nigga, bro.
what was I playing? I probably was playing like Rakim.
Oh,
I
Nigga,
was-
that's why.
I was
That's
saying,
the fuck why.
you wasn't bumping no
I-
Lauryn
I don't
Hill.
I
You
was-
wasn't bumping no Lil Kim. You
Big
wasn't
Daddy,
like
Big Daddy Kane.
no one's trying to like. I'm not trying to bump
At
that.
least some Tupac,
Ain't no half
nigga.
stepping.
Facts.
I was
At least
working my
some
way.
Tupac.
You feel me? Like I was working my way up. I was trying to go through the errors, like. But she didn't let me get through it. I was like, damn. I almost want to kick her out the web. Like, don't ever touch my fucking volume,
It's
nigga.
fucked up.
Nah, because niggas was in
Cause you
there
was bumping
bumping.
Rakim.
My hat is brown and I get around and I come through too.
I ain't know
Yeah,
that.
went
I used to
down
let the mic
the
smoke.
hat store, got
Come on,
myself.
I fought with some of the old shit,
Sound like
bro. I was
fucking
bumping that shit. My cut,
Sirius
my
XM, nigga.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, that shit's not wavy, bro.
Bro, we standing on the shoulders of those giants, bro. You gotta put some respect on
Niggas
these
is
name, you feel me?
mad short, most of them.
You feel like you remember like,
For
the
what, LL
first
Cool
song
J?
that you're like, oh, now like
Ladies
this is an
love
old classic that it's like,
names.
Like
I'm
shook
now
ones.
really-
I remember my uncle
Shook
playing
Ones
that
Part
shit in the
Two.
Shook
whip.
Ones
And
is
that's
for
just
you? For me, I think I remember the first time I heard, what is it? I Got 5 on it. I was like, oh,
Ooh,
this
that was
is.
a good one.
I was like, this is an amazing song.
You know how nutty
bullshit.
it
You know the
is
words
to
to a
hear
verse?
somebody say,
The verse.
rock you in your
Probably
face,
once it
stab
comes
your
on, I would.
brain
I
with
don't
your
know.
nose bone. That's a wild line, bro. That shit was hard.
All right. Niggas started listening to hip hop, bro. I feel like a lot of times, like, can't really pinpoint like who's like the first person, you feel me?
Yeah, facts.
Because like it's music. Music is everywhere. Like everywhere you go, like. You know
But
what
when
I
I'm
mean?
asking, I'm really like, what's the one that made an impression on you to like, oh, I'm tapped in. I want to tap in with.
Nigga, me. I never wanted to tap in.
You was already in.
I remember listening to music because my mom played in the car. My mom be
Yeah.
listening to 50 Cent. My sister be
Yeah,
listening to
50
like
Cent,
Nas.
yeah.
She's always talking about Nas and Jay-Z and how they have beef. She be listening to Lil Kim and listening to like rappers from the 90s and shit like that. But like, I never wanted to tap in because I was like, I don't want to listen to this.
Is T-Pain hip hop?
Yeah.
Why,
Yeah.
why is that even a question?
It's more like a singer and everything. But
He's
like,
a rapper
nah.
turned
Yeah.
singer. That's literally the album.
No bullshit. Yeah, no. But like T-Pain was a big part of that. Like even like the
I
movies.
kind of wanted to tap in with T-Pain a little bit.
like Stomp the
I
Yard.
was fucking with
and, like,
Akon heavy,
You
bro.
got
That nigga
served. Akon was
fire.
that nigga, bro.
It's radio music.
That shit was fire though.
Yeah. I'm saying like the music on the radio, like it's just what you
Yeah.
heard. I feel like you,
Yeah.
like it wasn't like an individual, you feel me? But it was good music all around. Shit that you hear. I think it's also the vibe, you feel me? It
They
kind
still
of
be
like,
playing that same music to this day, bro. That's not good.
that is good.
Nah,
It's
bro.
iconic music, bro.
There's no way I should be hearing that Ice Cube song every time I turn on the radio.
What? It was a good day.
Nah, you could do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah.
Really? I'm sorry, bro.
They still do like changes from Tupac and everything. Yeah.
certain songs,
Bro,
yeah.
the song literally is, I see no changes.
Yeah, certain
That's
songs.
fact.
Yeah.
Change the song, change the radio, change the
Facts, nigga.
station,
No
nigga.
bullshit.
change the format.
So I just gotta,
50 years in, bro, and I feel like if I look
it's
at
only
where,
getting
like,
worse.
I feel like music has gotten better.
There's a lot of great things that happened in the last decade or two.
I'm not gonna lie. Something that was funny about the 50th anniversary, like hip hop celebration concert that they did, they had A Boogie go. And he went
Really?
like right after somebody. I forget who it was. But he went like right after, I think he went after Wu-Tang or something like that. And
That's
like,
a big leap.
yeah, bro. And I was
Super.
like, damn, this nigga not even saying the word.
That's like when they jumped from like.
that's like the
And
word.
the same shit that they brought out Glorilla?
Yeah, it's the same thing when
Lil
Glorilla
Baby.
came like right after. I forgot who
Lil
it
Baby,
was.
maybe?
And then Lil Baby came from who?
I
It was
can't
somebody
imagine
from
as
like
much
I
between
don't know.
them.
2003.
Boogie
But it was just like
Whoa.
them niggas was rapping the songs, you feel me? Like they had like, you know what I mean? Like Method Man, Capadonna, and niggas
Yeah.
like rapping, you feel me? And then it was fucking A Boogie, like he was rapping, but then he's like, but then at the end of his, or like middle before end of before his the end of his performance, he did Drowning at the end. They like gave him like a plaque from like New York saying like, you know, like carrying on the legacy, 50 more years, something like that. And I was like, him?
I'm saying A
And I was
Boogie
like,
had a
hey,
A
album.
Boogie
no,
had
I'm
a
not saying,
summer.
I'm not even
Let's
saying
talk
that.
about it, though. Hold on, hold on.
That's
Let's
not
talk
even why
about
I'm
it, though.
saying that.
Let's talk about well,
I'm
no,
saying that as
possible.
in, like,
Damn.
Why didn't you give it to like one of the other people?
Who's
There's
one
mad
of
more
who's
New
a
York
young
artists that
person that
coulda-
came out of New York that really puts on for like New York? It's not
Nigga,
possible,
A$AP
obviously, because
Rocky.
of what happened. A lot of niggas in New York didn't jack
Think he's
A$AP Rocky
old
because he didn't
now,
sound
or-
like he was from New
Pro
York.
era.
I would have thought it might
They
have been
weren't
like
big enough.
Joey. I would have thought it might be Joey.
You got
A lot of niggas didn't like Joey.
little TJ.
Nigga Ice Spice.
Yo, they got
A$AP's
Ice
not a
Spice
bad
on a top
representation.
50 New York rappers.
A-Boogie's not a
saw
bad
that. She's number
representation.
50.
That's
She's
all I'm
not top
saying.
50 New York rapper.
She's number 50.
Bro,
Who, Ice
you
Spice?
should have seen the names that were omitted from that list for her to be top
Like
50.
they saying
bro.
all time or current right
All
now?
time.
All time.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a force.
That's a force.
Yeah, nah, I seen that
That is
list.
what it is, bro.
They didn't put fucking.
Niggas giving them niggas attention.
They didn't
bro.
put Max B on that shit. I was like, that's crazy. Oh, bullshit.
Niggas.
50 of them, bro. You're not gonna put Max B?
Nigga, I don't
They
care.
didn't put
nigga.
ASAP Ferg,
It's
AZ,
some nigga's opinion, bro. Like he can have his opinion.
Read all of them. Why you stop?
all of them. Because some of them, nah.
Joey's not
I'm-
on there, though.
I'm
Joey
fine if
Badass was
CL
also-
Smooth is
No,
not on
Joey's
that
not
list.
on there.
He wasn't on the
ASAP
list.
Ferg, AZ, Billy Danz, I don't know who that is. CL Smooth, Cormega, DMC, Black Rob, Buckshot, Fame, Havoc from what's it called? Mobb Deep.
Sorry,
I
you
thought.
rapping.
Inspector Deck, Joey Badass, Joel
Inspector Deck wasn't
Santana, Lloyd Banks, Max
Lloyd Banks
B,
chips, don't do that.
Memphis Bleak,
I'm sorry.
Five Dog,
Memphis Bleak was just
Remy Ma.
Don't do
Like
that.
why is Ice Spice on a list of top 50
Don't-
New York rappers and
Remy
Remy
isn't.
Ma's not on there?
So
Come on.
what? It's some nigga's opinion. Who cares?
I know it's complex. I don't really give a fuck. But Talib Kweli, Shine, like
I think it's B Dot. It's more specific.
B Dot's the one who made that list. But he's not. No, he was criticizing the list. That's why he made that whole list of rappers. Like, yo,
Oh,
that's
okay.
who y'all put.
Who cares?
Okay.
It's like some nigga's opinion.
Gotcha.
So what? Like I don't even know 50 rappers from New York, nigga. Probably no bullshit.
Yeah, fuck.
That's impressive that they were able to come up with 50.
That
no
list,
bullshit. That's
you did
real.
not tap.
But when you
Nigga,
see,
name 50
but when you
rappers from
see
New
some of
York.
those names though,
I can't name.
when you see some of those names though,
Off
it's
top, that's
surprising.
what I'm saying. Like you'd have to like.
I
the
name-
nigga,
But
10
name,
off the rip. Like,
oh, yeah,
easy.
10. Cool.
Prodigy.
Me too.
in 1 year, you're going over some of these niggas that we're naming, like Joey Badass or ASAP Ferg, Max B in 1 year.
And
it's
one
not even like
year?
that year was immaculate.
And
bro.
she's still
1 year.
shaking ass in
You
the
out
deli.
munch, nigga. Like,
100 bands
1
of
year.
Chanel.
wow, still
That's
shaking ass in the
shaking
deli.
ass in the
Ooh.
deli.
Like I get it, it's someone's opinion,
my
but it's
bitch
like it's
getting
also
dirty.
just invalid.
Oh,
my
you been
nigga.
listening. You
That
been
nigga like
listening.
that
I
song.
followed that beat.
That
No
nigga likes that
bullshit.
song, bro. He be bumping that.
Jeez.
I can tell you be bumping
I
that.
did listen to it a couple times.
That nigga's like,
I don't be bumping it though.
Does that mean like
he was like,
I haven't played it in the whip yet.
I can only assume like Fabio's on that list then, and it's like you don't put.
Probably
It's
is.
disgusting, bro. Niggas
Probably
dick riding.
is.
That-
Bobby
They
Shmurda.
need the complex interview, so you feel me? They
Bobby
gotta put the.
Shmurda, huh?
Bobby Shmurda on that list.
I hope it's pre-locked up Bobby Shmurda. They should.
Hey man,
They should separate that.
fuck all that
Baby
New
East
York
is
shit,
probably
man.
on
Shout
there.
out to the Bronx. You feel me? I'm glad that niggas was able to make hip hop. But like I was saying before, I think like where we're at
Jay
now with
Critch.
hip hop, it's just that I think that we're in a good place, but it's a
Yeah.
very weird place, and I like it's a pivotal moment because
That's funny. I was watching a video about that earlier. Keep
nerd,
going.
at any point, like I feel like shit can really like fall off bad and like enter into like a depth that like some pits. You feel me? Some
Yeah.
shit that you can't really recover from easily, or there's like gonna be like a changing of the guard in a good way where it's like shit gets better. You know what I mean? But right now, it's a dangerous
Yeah,
game.
it's
we're
definitely a
playing,
shift.
bro.
It is.
And it's not
Definitely
just
a shift right
it's
now.
not just hip hop, bro. It's really just like society right now.
Because the genre
this
got
generation is
colonized too bad. Bro.
cooked.
Yeah, bro. They letting niggas
It's
in.
the
that's-
internet.
They promoting the worst shit for us possible, bro. There's
Bro.
nobody talking about some shit that's going to uplift the
People
people.
was tweeting about that too. No bullshit.
Shit's scary, bro.
Said the nigga had the shiesty on in the library.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I'm convinced that nigga's ugly, bro. He just don't want to show his face, bro.
Bro, it's a little kid you talking about. You calling a little kid ugly, bro? That's weird.
He might be, nigga. I don't know.
People do be saying that all the time. Like, oh, that little baby ugly. It's fucked up.
That's a baby, bro.
What?
Leave
Like,
the nigga alone,
his
bro.
ops not gonna be at the library,
It
nigga.
might be though.
Nigga, I seen niggas hooping in the shiesty before, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's just like, what the niggas doing? And
Nigga.
niggas don't know that you're wearing a shiesty, but you got a big ass book pack, a backpack that's camouflage and has your name on it. They gonna know it's you. I know it's you, nigga. Jerome, is that you? Like, nigga.
I think it's
Well,
Hey, man.
it's honestly a whole generational divide, and honestly,
Randy.
we could just tie that into everything that's like just really going on right now, bro. And it's funny because my family group chat, we had a back and forth.
Nah,
it was like
family group
it
chat
was like
is
a
nuts.
generational
That's
divide.
hip-hop.
No, it's actually very
That's
hip
hip-hop,
hop,
no
very hip
bullshit.
hop. But
Yeah.
it was like it was a joke or something about like ass whoopings or something like corporal punishment type shit. And the older generation's like, you know what? So we didn't turn out so bad. And then the younger generation's like, y'all did it.
Still whooping ass in the belly.
You feel me? And it was so
Niggas,
funny.
you feel me?
Cause like you got the new generation like bringing up studies, like studies have shown that
Oh, Christ.
this is what corporal punishment can actually what's it called?
Corporal punishment.
Is
No
that not what,
bullshit.
is that not what it is?
You ever heard your mom or like anybody, I guess, older be like, you're just too smart for your own like good, like all these numbers y'all bring up, all these statistics and shit like that. It's like,
Nah, bro, my aunt had the greatest clapback. One of my cousins was like, I recommend, the four agreements. You guys should all read it. Blah blah blah.
She was like, why you still single?
And then she was like, if y'all have any recommendations, feel free to share. And then her mom puts a link to a book. It said how millennials became the burnt out generation. She's
Facts.
like, only
They're like, why you
$3.90.
can't keep a
Only
job?
$3.95.
Facts. She's like, you can afford this? Why you
group chat
broke?
be lit, nigga.
No bullshit. We was going back and forth, and it made for a great conversation because it's like, yo,
Y'all be
this,
sending memes in there? Like to go with whatever the response is?
It depends.
no,
'cause-
no. Sometimes,
Cause
I
yeah.
know-
like, you can imagine
Nah.
that the older people
Yeah, they be
probably not
sending
gonna
them gifs,
understand
no
it.
bullshit.
But they'll send some shit that niggas be like, what the fuck?
A lot of times.
So it's like they probably avoid doing it if they can. on both
But
ends.
even then, I seen the younger generation was coming at the older generation. I was like, yo, let me back them up real quick because we're not doing great ourselves. You know what I mean? Like
Facts, we still shaking
this
ass in the
generation
belly.
is fucked, bro. Like, and the examples I had brought up
Every
were just
generation is fucked.
no, it's worse, bro. It's actually worse. Like they can point to studies about corporal punishment because there's decades of documentation about like what that can do. We don't have documentation for what excessive screen time and what all this social media exposure is doing to us, bro. And you already see like how nutty shit gets. Like I'm not about to get into it because I don't fuck with them niggas, but bro, dude's got the Island Boys is wilding, craving for attention. You got Lil Tay out here looking like she faked her debt for some clout.
None of that shit is of my
I'm not
culture,
just speaking
bro.
to Little Tay shit because I
Hey,
don't
man,
know
let
much
me tell
about
you
that
this, bro.
situation.
I'm just
But-
saying it just
Niggas
it's
be
all
knowing-
it's all examples of like
but I
how
will say too though.
what we doing for attention.
Yeah, what are you doing right now?
Nigga, podcast.
Yo, it was
You're
funny.
speaking about it on the
bad, bro.
podcast.
One of the examples
For
I
you to
brought
speak
up,
on this because you're informed on it.
I mean, it was all over
spreading
my
it- you
feed,
spreading
But
it
you
nigga.
didn't have to
propaganda.
engage with
I
it.
feel you. I didn't engage
Wasn't
with
on my
it, nigga.
feed.
I thought it was Lil TJ at first. I was like, like my heart
No,
got
no,
heavy.
I'm not
and
talking
then
about that. I'm talking about the Island Boy shit. Like, what are you talking about?
No bullshit. Why do you know about that?
it got brought on my. I
What
can't
is
control
it?
it.
Like, what about
Instagram
them?
put that
Yeah,
Ah,
but
what about them?
you put it into the notes, nigga.
because that
Like,
shit's wild,
Nigga
bro.
said
What
he's
is
an
wild?
odd.
Like, what happened?
I gotta talk about
what
this.
happened?
Oh, you don't know?
I'm at literally like, what is
nigga
Oh,
it?
Yves
God
is
bless your
curious.
soul, bro. I'm glad you don't know.
Nigga, none of us know but you.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay,
You
okay.
know?
It was kissing and shit.
No, these
I said
niggas
both
got.
of y'all niggas is lies.
Wait, hold up. They got an
What?
incest sex tape on the way, bro.
What do you mean?
See, I didn't know about
Well,
that.
I mean, they're brothers.
I didn't know about that. I
but
seen
what
the
do you mean
video.
on the way, bro. Like,
It's
what
a
do you mean?
video.
Like, I seen the
about
video that
They're
was
about to
kissing.
release, bro. You feel me? An incest sex tape, bro. I'm not getting into this because I'm not giving these niggas attention. I'm
See,
just too
I
late.
didn't know that. You know too much, bro. No bullshit.
Yo, what the fuck is
Bro, it
going
just
on?
shows up on my
Nah,
feed sometimes.
bro, but
I
now it's
can't-
gonna come up on other niggas' feeds because we talking about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm just saying, bro.
Why'd you
Shit,
bring it
bro.
up?
Nigga, my
It
phone's
was-
in the room. It's about to come up on my feed, nigga.
They're
No
not real
bullshit.
brothers, are they?
They are
They are.
brothers, bro.
Let
It's
tell you like
disgusting
this,
what
though.
like what people will do for attention, bro. And like I said, it's like this generation is
Florida?
cooked, bro. Like like kids of this
Shit.
generation rather be
What the
content
fuck?
creators and YouTubers over being like a STEM major, an entrepreneur, business. Like I'm proud
Hey,
of
listen,
I'm proud
I was a
of
STEM
it.
major. I was a STEM
but it
major, but not
doesn't-
to say that that's what people have to do,
That's
bro. To be
some-
like,
that's
saying
some,
that they have
some
to-
kids.
you made it
not
seem like,
all
oh,
kids.
people are doing this rather than being doing that.
No,
It's
no, no.
like, that
If you
doesn't have
ask
to be the
90%
end
of kids what they
goal.
want to do, bro, they're going to say like, I want to be a YouTuber, bro.
That's some kids.
kids.
I don't think 90% of kids
Nigga,
is
when I
gonna
was a
say
kid
that,
at one
bro.
point, I said I wanted to be on
You want to be an astronaut
America's
or
Best
some
Dance
shit?
Crew, nigga. Like, what the fuck was I saying? Like,
I don't know, bro. Like even
Yeah,
like,
nigga, no, that shit was not true.
like what?
Nah, but my little
niggas
cousin,
be
she want to be
saying
a
shit.
lawyer. She just started college and shit. Not everybody wants to do that shit.
well, she just
Oh, she just
Like,
started college, so she's much
you
older.
just seeing what's
Bro,
online.
little
If you-
kids don't know about careers, nigga. They're children.
That's not true. I knew I wanted to be an accountant in fifth
That's
grade.
you.
Go ask all the younger people in your
Dweeb
family
ass
what they
nigga.
want to
Made it
do.
happen.
Dweeb
Go ask
ass
all the younger
nigga,
people in your
bro.
family what they want to do. My little sister wants to be an interior designer. I mean, nigga, you just seeing what's online. Yeah, the people that are online
I
is
don't
gonna
think
tell
it's
you
just-
they want to be shit that's online. Nigga.
I mean, there's statistics to back it up, but I feel you. It's not everywhere, but
nigga, go
I'm
to
just
a
saying-
school, ask them niggas.
Facts.
Bro.
All right, let me ask you: Have you ever like walked in on your cousin watching some on his tablet, on their tablet, on the TV?
Yeah, they be
they're-
watching some
and they're-
crazy shit.
They're watching somebody play with the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not playing with the toys.
Yeah,
they're
that little nigga
watching
Ryan,
someone-
bro.
Like
Yeah.
that's nutty to me, bro.
How? You watch niggas play video games.
I was about to say,
While I was
Literally.
playing video games.
Yeah.
no, you weren't.
Yes,
You would sit
sometimes
there and
you
watch
watch
Chris
a
Smooth,
walkthrough.
bro. You would sit there and watch Chris Smooth play 2K.
it's a little
Yeah.
different.
No,
bro.
it's
It's
not.
not.
It is
You're
a little
watching that nigga
different.
play
You could be playing that
games,
shit
bro.
yourself.
The shit they doing, like the content
Sound
is
like a
weird,
hating-ass
bro.
nigga,
No,
bro.
I
the
never watched a
content is
streamer, bro.
I
weird,
thought he was gonna
bro.
have a point. I'm not seeing the point.
Sound like
I
a
do
hating
think
ass
it's
nigga.
kind of weird though. No bullshit.
Never said it's
a little
not
kid
weird.
watching
Because
a
I
kid
was
play
still
with toys.
outside, bro. Like
Yeah, it is.
I was
How's
still,
that
I was
weird,
still,
bro?
I was still
Outside.
jumping off shit, bro. I was
Nigga,
still
so
like
are
playing with my
they.
own toys. Like, no, these like it's not.
That sound like the
I
parents'
understand. I
fault.
see. I hear your experience. I'm more so asking, why is it weird?
I think it's weird.
It's weird, bro. Like
is
I be
weird.
watching myself.
You don't
some
think
of-
it's
Some of the
weird?
shit.
A little
they-
kid watching a nigga play with a toy. No, he likes a
No,
toy.
some
He
of the
doesn't
times,
have it. He's
some of the
watching him
times
play
it's
with
not
it.
little kids playing with toys.
I'm talking about little
It's
kids.
grown
I
ass
said what I said
adults,
specifically.
bro.
I said
like,
Ryan,
like
who's a
doing
little kid.
voiceovers of the toys
So
and
what?
shit.
I don't know
And
about all that. I'm talking about little kids
it
specific.
get weird.
I don't think
bro.
that's weird. That's less weird than watching another person play with the toys.
No,
The
because you
voiceover
can watch
shit,
cartoons,
nigga, you never-
bro. Way higher quality, bro. Like,
So you're a dickhead then. Nigga said it's higher quality. Nigga, that's what they want to watch. They want to watch someone do that in that setting because it's a little more real. They don't want to watch a cartoon. They want to watch a live action version with a nigga doing the voice. That's literally the same thing.
Yo, it's on.
Nigga, we used to watch that shit. Nigga, you never watched Caillou, nigga?
A fucking.
You don't remember the
that's a- what's
fucking
the dog,
in-between?
bro?
No,
Blue's
it's not.
Clues?
You
What
don't
about
remember,
Blue's
hold on.
Clues?
You don't remember the in-between?
That's
the
a
little skits
grown
they
man.
had in Caillou, nigga? Where it was the fucking puppets of the fucking
Mr.
three
Rogers.
animals?
But I think Blue's
Like,
Clues is the
You
perfect
ever watch Mr.
example.
Rogers?
Like, it's the same shit. What's the problem? Nigga, hating ass nigga, bro. You hating on little kids
I
right
don't
now,
know.
bro.
I think
you
the
hating on
generation-
children.
You ever watch
generation
Ubi?
is cooked, bro.
Nigga used to. It
That's
was the
Booba.
Ubi.
Oh,
It was
the
the hand. The
thug.
hand.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
bro.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
I know
Rogers
you're
too,
talking about. I
nigga.
know
That
you're talking
nigga
about.
was just an old nigga in his house with a train set and a fucking thing, bro. He used to be like,
Oh, shit.
You never
what's
watch
wrong with
Mr.
that?
Rogers?
Mr. Rogers
Y'all
is good for
fuck
the
with Mr.
community,
Rogers,
bro.
bro.
It's It's role play, bro. The kids like watching shit like that. What's wrong with that?
No, because at
Fucking
least in the
Looney Town,
cartoons,
nigga.
here's the difference. In the
Cardigan.
cartoons, there's like hidden messages in there that were like not hidden, but like there's a lesson to be learned.
Nigga
Like,
said there's a moral.
Caillou was selfish sometimes. So
Nigga,
then,
Caillou don't have no fucking morals. That nigga didn't learn shit.
No, but you learn from Caillou's experiences. I don't know what you learn from seeing these kids play with fucking toys, bro.
You're
Like,
not watching the whole
'cause you
thing.
didn't watch it.
You're not watching the whole
bro,
thing.
I be tapping it. Sometimes I overhear it and I'm just like,
Nah, you're
I be
weird.
having to change it. Like, you're not watching it. You're not watching it.
Now you're weird.
I be over here. I be like, yo, we're changing it. Go to Netflix. Like, you're not watching it.
That's fucked up.
Like, yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
Like, why
he's
they want to
hating on-
watch something you gonna change it on?
Anybody
though?
who relates, bro, knows, yo, YouTube is weird. Like,
I'm not
bro,
saying it's
YouTube
not.
is
No,
real
I think
weird.
But
there's
the content
definitely
that
some
you're describing,
monitoring
though,
that needs
is
to happen,
weird.
bro. Like, even when I was in Puerto Rico, like my little cousin had his tablet and they be saying shit that's like, it looks like SpongeBob, but it's like a parody. And it's like they're cussing and shit like
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's
why I be like, yo, turn that
okay,
up.
that's what's like, I changed it because like he doesn't know that he's taking in something that he shouldn't be watching.
Hey, I used to be watching. You never watched the voiceovers like Batman
Maybe
and
when I was
Spider-Man.
like 8 or some shit. This nigga's 3 years old.
Oh
You
shit.
feel me? So it's like he doesn't know that like
Type
this
shit.
isn't.
And you have to
what
tell
he's
them, like,
supposed to
yo,
be
you're not
watching.
supposed to be watching that. They're
Feel me?
swearing in there, don't watch
For
that.
sure, you step in, you switch it out, whatever. But if I see him watching something that's very harmless,
It's just
like, what's the
mindless
harm,
entertainment, bro.
That's
What
the
did
thing,
niggas
I
learn
don't-
from watching Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
I personally wouldn't want.
Some shit though.
How you get money
They
out of
learn how to
scam,
know
nigga.
bullshit, nigga.
A sucker born every day, nigga. I know how to get mine, nigga. That's one more second of scam every day.
It's something to be learned.
But niggas didn't learn for that for real though. Like it's like the
There's-
reason why
there was
they
a whole
fail
bunch
every,
of mindless
the reason
shit
why
that
they
we
fail
learned
every
too.
episode is because you're not supposed to like do that shit or whatever. But it's not. It's funny because it's like, oh, look at these niggas. They're just doing a bunch of shit. The nigga got his fucking stairwell taken away, bro. Like
I feel like
his
from
book
all
was
that, I
just
learned
dumb.
kind of like art, no bullshit. Like just art styles and different like cartoons. That's at least what
This
what
is
taught me,
very
no
low
bullshit.
budget. I don't.
You
Hey,
sound
man.
like a hater, bro.
I am a hater. I
Nigga
am.
watching it, he's like, I don't want y'all watching that. I want
yo,
y'all to
the
be more.
whole
You
basis
sound like
of
them
my
kids.
argument is
Pete,
hating, bro.
but
I'm
Pete,
saying this whole generation's cooked,
when
bro.
niggas was watching Ed, Ed, and Eddie, niggas and SpongeBob and niggas' parents tell them turn that shit off. It's rotting your
Yo,
brain.
SpongeBob was dead, killing brain cells.
Get the
bro.
fuck out of here,
I'm
you
being
hating ass
dead
nigga,
ass,
bro.
bro.
Hating ass nigga,
Literally,
bro.
it was killing brain cells,
Hating
bro.
okay,
ass
no.
nigga.
Rob,
Sound like an
You ain't
old
fuck
ass
with
man,
SpongeBob,
bro.
bro?
let's hear it then. What was you watching
I
that's
was watching
so
Cyber
informative?
Chase, my nigga. That's why my numbers
I was watching
skills
Cyber Chase.
I was watching
fucking
Cyber
fire,
Chase,
I was watching
nigga.
Cyber Chase.
That's why
And
I
was
can
also watching
add, my
SpongeBob.
nigga.
Duality.
Name the characters from Cyber Chase since you watched it so much.
I don't need to, but I can.
Because you can't fucking do it. You wasn't really
Wait,
watching it.
DW.
The little bird nigga.
That's the right show, bro. That's
That
not
nigga
the
name
right
was
show.
Digit. Put some respect on my
Digit.
nigga
The
Digit
little
name.
bird
The
nigga.
robot
You wouldn't have been able to
Little
say
bird
that if I
nigga.
didn't just tell you. The only name that you
The
know
dude with
probably
the
is
orange hair, the spiky orange hair.
what's his name?
What's the black
It's
girl's name?
Matt.
Yeah, this nigga knows this shit,
Matt.
bro.
I don't know if it's Matt. It might not be Matt. It might not be Matt.
Bro, even the shows out like Zoom.
Inez.
Zoom was mad creative, bro. Zoom had the
Where you at, Inez?
his shows.
That was in Boston, right?
Yeah, Zoom into
PBS.
action.
Yo,
They
was
were
that
just
Boston
doing.
shit?
They were just telling you about
Zaboomafoo?
physics.
You
No,
feel
no,
me?
no.
Zaboomafoo was
Zaboomafoo
gas
was
too.
something else. I
Teaching
fuck with
me
that too. I
animals.
fuck with that
Come
shit
on,
too,
bro.
bro.
But I'm saying you're naming one part of the programming that you're watching. You also watching motherfucking Ben 10.
Bro, what was the shit with the lion
Mindless
in the morning?
It's just a nigga fighting shitty crime.
Sure, bro.
Sure. What
Between the
one?
lions. That's how you
Between
learn
the
how to
lines,
read.
you feel me?
Between the lions, bro.
Yo,
Never
Between the
seen
Lions was the
Cool.
next
You
live
ever
action
seen one with the
puppets.
big yellow
That's
bear?
some good shit.
It's like bear in the tree or some
Bear
shit.
in the big blue house.
Yeah, yo,
niggas was watching that shit too.
Nigga, that
I was
shit
watching.
some creepy shit.
I was watching Noggin, bro. What y'all know about Oswald? What you know about my
Niggas
the
know
fucking
about
Noggin,
Oswald.
Noggin also had the
The
upside down show
octopus,
on it.
nigga.
though.
I'm tapped in, nigga. What's up
And
with
that
it?
shit
You
was
feel
like
me? You know
some
about
wild shit.
Oswald.
I know a lot about
No
Oswald.
bullshit.
I know.
Name another character than Oswald, nigga.
He can't.
The
He
dog,
can't.
the hot dog dog.
What was his name?
I don't know.
He can't name any of the characters because he wasn't really watching it. It was
I
mindless to him.
was. I really was
What did you take
watching
away
it,
from
bro. I just
Oswald?
haven't watched
What
it
did you
from
take away from
years,
Oswald,
bro.
nigga?
Bro, what was the shit
What
with
did
the
you take
guinea
away
pigs?
from
You
Oswald?
ever watch Maggie and the Beast?
Maggie,
Maggie and the
Beast.
Ferocious
The
Beast.
ferocious,
Ferocious
yeah, you
nigga.
know.
Polka dots?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember the episode
Nigga
she
was
lost
in
the
the
polka
box.
dots?
Yeah, and it
What's
was
that nigga
crazy
name?
episode,
Charles in
bro.
the box. What was his name?
No,
Yeah.
I ain't watched that shit.
Remember
Hey, bro,
Franklin
all
the
I know is,
Turtle?
bro,
No,
all I
Frank,
know
oh,
is
Franklin,
Franklin.
right? I was gonna say Franklin the
So
Turtle.
you're talking about
nuts,
what the kids are
Franklin.
watching right now. I don't even know what they're watching to make a comparison. And so I don't think you do either.
Bro,
If
them
you
niggas
be
is
making a
watching Peppa
comparison, bro,
Pig.
it's like
Them niggas is watching
sound
Paw
like an old
Patrol.
nigga,
Them
bro.
niggas is watching like
you really do
feel
just
me?
sound like an
Yeah,
old
there's
nigga.
more official shows, bro. Kids just
I'm
aren't
hip-
watching TV no
They're just
more.
not watching it as often. I wish they watch more of that. Like what's it called? Ladybug.
Nigga, get them a Disney
Like,
fucking Plus
my sister
subscription,
love
bro.
that shit.
YouTube is free.
We have all of that shit, bro. We got Netflix. We got
YouTube is
Disney
more
Plus.
lit,
That might
though,
be the
and they
problem,
still
bro.
love YouTube,
That might
bro.
be the problem.
What?
You have everything. That's why they're not going outside, nigga. They could keep
Yeah.
switching
They
in
don't
between
wanna
different
do it. They don't
fucking
wanna watch that
platforms.
shit.
Nah, my sister be outside, bro. We got it.
Now I seen that one video where the kid was like sleeping and they was just like crying and it was like imitating.
Yeah, I
yeah.
seen that shit too. No
I was
bullshit.
like, yo, that nigga tweaking, bro.
He's having withdrawals. Like he's
Oh bullshit.
Yo, that was
he was
bad.
Asian too, though.
Chill.
Yo, I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
know what
bro.
that means.
I'm telling you, bro.
So let me ask y'all a question.
You might have to timestamp that one.
Would y'all live in would y'all
Wait, I just want to take a second. Shout out to our sponsors, you know what I'm
they
saying?
be
Shout out
doing.
Diaspora Mass.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? They flooded the community
Drop a
with
bomb.
the great culture. You know what I'm saying? Go
Facts.
follow them at Diaspora Mass on
All
Instagram.
the
Shout out
cultures.
Yerba Mate. Shout out Topo Chico. Shout out Newberry Comics. Swag. Get back into it.
Yo, Tomo, you're doing amazing, bro. You out here maintaining business relationships.
But you know
I
why
love-
he's able to
I
do
love-
that?
I love
Because
to
he watch
see it.
YouTube, nigga.
I know, so he
Yeah.
know when
So
the
you
ad
know how
breaks
it
come in.
goes.
Well, if you knew how it goes, they record that separately and then they just
No
throw it
matter.
in there.
The
But
real
you know,
niggas do it in the video because they made a different outfit every video.
or they
We
just
need to get the
record it
Morgan
after
and
the
Morgan
episode.
sponsorship, nigga.
No bullshit.
Nigga, why the fuck
Let's get a
Morgan
YMCA sponsorship, nigga.
What is that gonna do for you? They barely making money, nigga.
can't do it? Now all of us believe in God the same way.
Oh,
They gonna be like, nah.
that's their morals and shit.
Nigga, it's the Young Men's Christian Association.
I never knew that.
Bro?
Really?
Bro, I never knew what that shit stood for, nigga.
Oh, now you know.
That nigga James Brown got the who made the song, nigga? YMCA.
The Village People.
Yeah.
YMCA.
Damn, nigga. I just thought that,
James
bro, that's
Brown.
crazy.
No, James Brown was
that shit would be in the audible, bro.
James Brown was
said
nuts.
it.
Wah!
Man.
that shit would probably be tough. nigga.
Yo, 900K house. Would you live in Brockton?
Fuck no.
You seen the video?
No.
You seen the
Y'all
I
TikTok?
think it was kind of.
bro.
I felt
don't
type of
like
way
that.
when he said that shit.
I think
bro.
it depends
You shouldn't
on,
feel bad
I felt
about
type of
Brockton.
way.
Nigga, okay, hold on.
You've
time
been
out.
to Brockton
Hold on,
like a handful of times, bro. I don't think you've been to Brockton more than 10 times.
Before we even continue, Yves, who's the mayor of Brockton?
I can tell you one of the mayors in the last couple of years.
You
Carpenter.
don't know the mayor
So
of
I was gonna say
Brockton.
Sullivan. Carpenter's
Robert
one of them.
Sullivan, yeah.
So you don't know the mayor
I
of
don't know the
Brockton.
Bill
current mayor
Carpenter.
of Brockton.
Right, you don't know the current mayor of Brockton. Do you know any of your city councilors?
Bro, that
I do
does not
not.
Do
define
you know anything? Bro,
What does that have to do
'cause
with my
The reason
living-
why I ask you, right, is because you're offended by me saying that Brockton's education system is not that great, and then the price of living is too high to warrant like raising a family there, right? But you're offended by that, but you're not doing shit to change it. Don't be mad at me, nigga. Be mad at yourself. That you don't know the mayor. That you don't know who you're
that.
dealing with.
You're
You
not
don't know who you're
He's
dealing
gonna
with.
speak- he's gonna
Because
speak
that's
on
not
shit
what
he
you
don't
said.
know.
That's not even what you said verbatim.
I said that it's not a
No.
good place to raise a family
How
because
do you
the
know
cost
that?
I literally said the cost of living is too high to justify raising kids there because the education system's not good.
That's not true.
But it is.
That's not true.
You literally looked it up.
No.
This is first of all. Can
I break it down for you? Can I
Put
break-
up, no.
Can I break it
Put
down?
up the
These
screenshots
niggas
when you
feel
say
Hey
insulted when you
man,
say
put
that.
up-
as a
and
nigga
put up
who
the
grew up in
screen-
Brockton, man,
Nigga,
I wouldn't change that shit for nothing.
And put up the
That's my
screenshots and put up
experience.
the screenshots
I
when you
was
say
never-
it. This nigga tried to tell me that Brockton's education system is better than Boston's. You fool.
You was wrong
You
for that one.
imbecile. You moronic fool.
Hold up.
That's why
Wait,
you
you
step
said-
into
You
the
saying kiss
baby,
to
bro.
Brockton High?
Can I
Huh?
wait?
So you were saying kiss to
Wait,
Brockton High?
Can I
What
speak
I-
on this? Can I actually speak on something? Because like I'm the only one who actually went through the
Don't
Brockton.
do that.
I'm
Right.
the
I
only
can't
one
say
on
that
this
'cause I didn't
couch
go to Brockton
who's
High.
been through the Brockton public school system, and I'll
I
tell you
have
this.
too.
He was too.
You
He
saying
just
kiss
didn't
the
graduate.
No,
from
you
You
went
saying
through
kiss to
Catholic
Brockton
schools.
High?
It's still in the Brockton
I
school
said
system.
public school systems.
He did
I
say
did
public
say that,
schools.
but
Okay.
I
I
say
think it was
that.
in the private schools, nigga.
Yo, the reality
You was in
is,
private
bro.
schools? What was it
No
called? What's it
bullshit.
called?
Trinity.
You went to Trinity. That's a private school, nigga.
That is.
Hold on. Can I get my shit off real quick?
I'll
Sure.
send Brockton
I'll say
with
this,
it.
bro. The bad part about Brockton is that there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of bullshit.
Just
that
like every other city,
that
yeah.
can distract you and bring you down. But if like, it's not to say that you can't have access to a great education.
Never
I got
said that.
access to an amazing education. And obviously my experience is different, bro. I was always in advanced classes. I was always in honors, AP, IB. Like, I'm not in the same classrooms as the niggas who are like gonna bring me down to bad
Most
path.
That might be-
Oh
that's
no,
also
they
part
said
of
you
the
said
problem,
that you was getting detention for stealing cookies and shit, nigga.
But
Sure,
also,
I'm
That
ahead.
school
Like,
to prison
I would
pipeline, no
hope that
bullshit.
most students aren't going to be in those classes.
You showed me some videos from your high school experience, bro. That was some wild shit.
it was some
going
wild
on.
shit, but like, it's
You say you was shooting
duality.
dice in your school, nigga, gambling.
bro. It taught me that gambling is bad.
But you're talking
bro.
about all these things, but like,
I'm just
name
saying,
the
bro.
positive
Like, I'm just
experiences.
saying, like, it's very easy to shit on Brockton and be like, yo, it's mad
Who
violent
shitted
and
on
stuff
them?
like that.
I
But
didn't
it's
even
like
say any of that.
that's not everyone's experience, bro. I'm not
wait,
just saying. I'm not
I was
saying
about
you.
to say,
bro.
I didn't say
I'm
any
saying
of that. I just said the cost of living is way
I think
too high.
that's the same thing for
to
anywhere,
justify
bro.
growing up there.
Bro,
and
the
raising
cost
kids
of living
in that
just
education
got
everywhere
high.
system.
right
Like,
now.
just
Hey,
starts like
everywhere right
skyrocketing,
now.
bro. Like,
No,
it was
it's
very.
not.
Where
I
is
feel like if you move to Boston and you
we
can
live in
afford to live there,
Massachusetts.
but if you move to Boston, you can afford to live there. The BPS system's not that bad. Like, it's actually very good.
But
like,
niggas
you
are
know
moving to
that.
Brockton and tying to places that because they can't afford to live in Boston.
I feel you, but I'm saying that if you can justify like if you're trying to raise a family, Boston is a good place to start.
Yo, if I had
If you can afford it.
if I had $1 million to buy a house,
But
bro,
versus
I'm
Brockton,
not
bro.
buying a house
I'd
in
rather-
Boston
I'd
for
rather
$1
have
million,
crib. I'd
bro.
rather have a
That's-
crib than living in an apartment in Boston.
Yo,
And that's
you gonna
okay. I
spend
never
$1
said that
million,
you had to do it.
bro. You gonna finance a mortgage for $1 million to live in Boston. You gonna be able to fucking stick your hand out, bro, and touch your neighbor's siding, my nigga. Like the backyards barely exist, bro.
The apartments be kind of big, bro.
The
I don't know
shits
what
be
you're talking
old
about.
as
That's the thing,
hell.
though. I'd rather live in a
Old
crib
as
than an apartment.
hell.
Can I tell you something?
My grandma got her crib for 25 bands.
But that was a different
That
time.
was
Yeah, facts.
way
That was a
long ago,
different
my
time.
nigga.
Can I tell
What
you
the
something,
fuck? I
though?
bet that same house is
Yeah.
way
Nah, it
overpriced,
is.
nigga.
It is, yeah.
Let me just say this. I get you, bro. No one's shitting on Brockton.
You don't feel us though.
No, you don't feel it.
I wasn't there, bro.
It
There's so
doesn't
much
matter,
pride
bro.
I got from my city, bro.
But that's-
Like,
that's
whenever y'all talk
okay.
about Boston shit, I can't jump into that conversation.
you're
I
from
don't
Boston.
know. But like, I didn't grow up in Boston.
That's
I don't
okay,
know,
bro,
but
but
I can't
that's
speak
okay.
on
He's
that
not
shit.
Here's the
from
thing.
Boston. He was
Yes, he is.
born
He
in
is.
Speak on
Boston.
that.
Answer, though.
But that's
Would you say
okay.
you kissed the Brockton High? I asked both of y'all.
And now
Neither
both
y'all
of you
answered.
have the same reaction. It's like,
No, because I have to really
like
think
you're
about
fucking
it.
thinking about it. Like you shouldn't have
But
to
he-
think
I
about
don't know
it.
why he's taking as long because he went there. I didn't go
It's
there.
not the end of the world if my kid
Never
does
said
go to
it was.
Brockton. But I'm not gonna. The real issue with Brockton, bro, is because the teachers have to be half teacher, half disciplinarian, bro.
And what did I say?
You feel me? That
Whose
is
fault is that?
fucking students, nigga.
No, it's not the student's
not the
fault.
student's
What
fault.
the fuck?
That's not the
It's
student's
not the
fault.
student's fault. It's the setup of the school's fault. And
How
you
you
got-
blame the
Understaffed,
students,
bro,
nigga?
like,
What the fuck?
they're understaffed. Like,
Because
just
of
more
the
teachers.
students,
They
blame
make
the
like,
students.
how
I
many
went to
kids
the
in
school,
this bro?
bro.
You
How many
kids?
kids?
All these.
Demons,
Hold
bro.
on. How many
Demons.
kids are in your classroom, bro, at a time? Like you have one teacher. How many kids in the room?
I'm not gonna lie. When I seen the stats, like Match had like 11 to 1. That's a
me?
great ratio.
Y'all had like, what,
we had
20?
like 25
That's a
to
force,
1, bro.
bro.
We almost had 30 kids in the class
That's a
sometimes.
force. That's
Teachers
crazy.
were getting pink slips out the ass every single year, bro.
And let me tell you this, right? You mentioned this before when we were in the chat, same chat, right? Where you said Brockton's education like system
I took it right
numbers
back. I
are
took it
being
right
held
back.
down by the students because there's a bunch of idiots in there.
Okay,
So that was a
sad,
joke.
bro.
So
That was a
everything
joke.
you're shitting
That
on
was a joke.
Brockton,
Hold on,
and
that
not
was
me.
a that was
Yes,
a joke.
he did.
I did say idiots, but I was joking.
You wild. You're shitting
I'll
on
say this.
Brockton,
I'll
not
say
me.
this. I wasn't shitting on Brockton. I was
That's shitting on Brockton. That's the
select
people that
a
live
select
there.
population. But I'll say this.
Why
The
you-
reality is, bro. This is the reality, bro. There's a huge immigrant population, bro.
Now you blaming the
Bro, you one of
immigrants?
them
No,
niggas.
hold on.
You one of them
I'm not-
niggas,
no,
like,
you're not
oh,
even
man.
letting me
Okay,
finish
go
the
ahead,
point,
I'm
bro.
smarter than you, nigga.
No, it's
hear it.
very hard, bro. Like when your parents don't speak the language,
Yeah.
to be able to like, yo, that person can't help you with your homework,
facts.
or they can't help you with your forms or whatever the case is, and like they can't expose you to certain things. That can really hold you back, bro.
That's
sure.
facts.
You know, that's a big thing. The reason I was able to be exposed to things because my dad spent 20, 30 years like living in the United States before you and was able to. My mom was college educated. Even though she came in her 20s, she was college educated.
I feel you.
She was a homeowner. Like I was exposed to these things. You feel? Not everybody
And
has
most-
it.
and
So when I
most of the
say
students there
drag
is
down,
not like
like
that.
I'm making the joke, but that is the reality, bro. That it's a large school, and a lot of those kids are under resourced.
So
at
like
home,
I said,
bro.
there needs to be reform then.
Yeah.
And you know
Sure,
where
I'm
that
not
comes
arguing
from?
that,
It's the
bro.
But that's
school's
what I'm
fault.
saying.
It
You
ain't
know
the
where that
student's
comes
fault,
from?
nigga.
That comes from your elected officials. You feel me? Building different infrastructure or rearranging the infrastructure to provide support for those students through the school, since that's the biggest high school in the city. And that's where most of the students are going.
It's also a
but that's
culture
not
thing,
happening.
because it's
You
not-
can- all right,
no,
it
no,
is
no.
a culture
I'm
thing.
agreeing-
but
I'm agreeing with you.
regardless,
I'm
though,
agreeing with you.
That's the biggest thing that
But
has to happen.
There's
though.
also people who have to look themselves in the mirror and just like do better as well. Like you can't change how some people are
that's
programmed
such a
as
small
well.
part of it, though.
It's not. It's really
Because
not,
if the
bro.
infrastructure in the city shifts, right? If the infrastructure in the city is providing support on all different levels for the citizens, the civilians, and for the students specifically, then you don't have to worry about that. Because you're saying there's a bunch of different distractions. The same thing in Boston. You feel me? It's the exact same thing. It's actually more, it's heightened in Boston because Boston's a bigger city and there's more shit going on here. So it's like when you're saying that, I understand where you're coming from, but you're also ignoring the responsibility that you guys have as like individuals to be able to shift that on an individual level, right? One, but then also to inform your peers, become informed yourself, two, and then also work to create civic change. There's niggas that you know, right, running for office because them niggas want to shift that shit from within. They're actually trying to do something on that end, right? But then when niggas don't know the mayor, when niggas can't name their city councilors, that's a problem. Because then it's like niggas just talking about it and you're trying to make it seem like I'm shitting on Brockton. But every day that you go by without knowing that information, every day that you go by where you're calling the rest of the students idiots, even if it is a joke, that's you shitting on Brockton, not me. Don't put that on
Select
me.
Population.
Don't
I'm
put
not,
that-
That's not.
regardless,
That's not
though.
me summing up all.
I'm not
of
saying I
Brockton.
get you.
Because
I
like
get what
I
you're
said,
saying though, but that's
yo,
you
if you
shitting on
have the
Brockton,
right,
not me.
because the
I
thing
fuck
is,
with
it's not.
Brockton.
It's
I
not.
just don't
It's
like the
not
heat over there 'cause it's
impossible.
dirty.
It's not impossible. Brockton is dirty,
It be dirty.
bro. I'll say this: Brockton's central area
3 out
horrible.
of 4.
Horrible.
sections of what? What
No,
did I say?
like the downtown, like Main Street, horrible. You feel me?
Not even, bro.
The
They
farther
actually
you
bring
get
that
away
shit
from
up,
the
bro.
center,
They
the
bring that
better,
shit up.
the nicer Brockton is. You
That's
know
not
that.
true, bro.
Yeah, it's a suburb,
nicer, bro.
nigga.
When's the last week you been over there, bro?
It's supposed to look like
I'm
that.
there all the time, bro.
You
Why?
ain't checking with me, bro. You lying.
Why do I have to check in with you?
'Cause
Why
I
not
nigga
hit
live
your
there.
man's up? It's like, yo, I'm in Brockton right now.
I
What's
see
up?
you all
Nigga
the
be want to
time.
hoop.
He
You
don't
want
want
to
to
hit me.
He don't want to hang out with you.
I don't want to hang out with you, bro. No, I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'll pull up on you
hit.
sometimes, bro.
Nah, I
But
hit.
anyway, all that to say, no, that is true, bro. The farther you get away from the center of Brockton, the better. The
I mean,
area
'cause
starts to
you're
look.
approaching
Same
like
thing
the
with
lines where
Boston.
you're almost in Avon or neighboring towns and shit like that. But Brockton as a whole is improving. I feel like every 5 years, every 10 years. Bro.
I agree.
It's only getting better.
I'm not shitting on it.
Now, how do you contribute to that?
I physically have.
Be an
By
example.
what? By just existing?
I'm gonna be an
when
example.
when I was younger, I used to do volunteer programs where I was going around cleaning up the city or like
When you were younger?
fucking like what do you call it? Beautification.
What changed?
I had to get a job and get paid, nigga. I had different responsibilities.
I feel you, but all I'm saying is that when it comes to, like, I'm not saying that's anyone's responsibility, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that don't try to make it seem like I'm shitting on Brockton by stating facts, because that's not the case.
No, I'm saying
The
you
cost
shouldn't
of
on
living is
Brockton
increasing, and the education
by
system is getting worse.
perpetuating a narrative that is
That's
not
not a
completely
narrative.
true,
I don't know if
bro.
I
If you
perceive-
haven't
not
li-
completely
you have-
true.
because unless you live there, bro, you don't know, bro. Like
I'm-
you can
I'm
look
never-
at you can look at you can look at it
Like,
from an
niggas really
outside
don't get it, bro.
perspective.
That's
You
so
can look
wild.
at stats, bro. You can point to like the legislation and all that,
I
bro.
think we also just need to more so focus on what the video itself was saying. The fact is that people are talking about, oh, a $900,000 house in Brockton. Hell no, why would I want to live there? They weren't talking about education. They weren't talking
That's
about.
not what
they
I
were just-
said.
I know.
They were talking
the
about-
video.
But you,
'cause that's what brought it
Pete,
up in the first
this
place.
nigga took offense to that shit, and he was like, nah, you seen it. Nigga even said Brockton way better, Brockton education way better than Boston.
I took it
Moments
right back,
later,
bro.
never mind. I
took
looked
it
it
right
up. It's
back,
actually
bro.
really not. It's horrible here, education wise.
Because
and
I
get the full
had
picture.
a great education.
You.
And my, but it wasn't
Nigga, you went
inaccessible,
to
bro.
different school after like
No, I
the rest of your
and
shit.
even in
No,
in those schools
the
and in those
schools were
classes,
filled with regular, like there were regular classes too, bro. Like
Right.
I
You
was
saying
in
you
most
went to
students were
Framingham
separated.
after a while, nigga.
I went to Framingham for 1 year, bro, and it was my senior year. That was it.
most
I
of the
spent
most of
11
the
years.
students in Brockton High are not going to be in those classes you were in. Those, what I'm saying.
But it's not that there wasn't a barrier in terms of like, for example, private school. Like there's a barrier because you might not have the finances
Yeah,
to
there's
be
a
able
barrier
to
of
afford
access.
that. Exactly.
Barrier
There
of
wasn't a
entry.
barrier for me, bro. Like it was just past like doing well, bro.
Doing well, how? How do you get into those classes?
It was a great test taker. It
You have to take a test.
was a great test.
You
taker.
realize that those standardized tests and the process therein is meant for people that look like me, people that look like you to fail.
I
Because
ain't
of, because of all the factors that you
Bro,
mentioned.
I ain't
Niggas,
doing-
niggas
I
don't
didn't
have
get
their
any
parents at home to
special-
help them study.
That was
Da-
great.
da-
Nah,
da-
that's
all
not a good
types
way
of
to look
shit.
at it, bro. Just because
Like,
you
that's
ain't fail, bro.
And that's what I'm
it's like,
saying. That's why I'm trying to say is like you're shitting on
narrow-
Brockton by saying all the shit
narrow
you're
tunnel.
saying.
Bro, you keep saying I'm shitting on, bro. I'm really not, bro. And you just keep throwing this
But you
back.
are though.
Nah, bro. I'm
Because you're
saying
coming
it's not
from that place.
impossible. I'm
feel
really
you.
just saying it's not impossible to get a great education, to duck all the violence that it, like I've lived there my whole life. I never experienced crime committed on me. Actually, no, nigga stole my phone. Fuck y'all niggas.
But like you hear what you're saying though. You're like, it's possible. I did it. And it's like that's true. But the pathway that you had is very
Because
particular.
I will say
That's not the majority
I
of people
do think
there. So
people
you have
take-
to, you
I
have
think-
to be
I
able
do
to
people-
change within.
I do think a lot of people take and make an active choice. I think there's a lot of active choices that are made.
Niggas also be outliers, bro. You gotta realize that, bro.
I am an
For me,
outlier. I feel you. But I'm
look at the path that I took, bro. It's not that can't say the same for all my friends or even cousins. You feel me? It's just
Facts.
and that's whether it's like negative things or positive things. You feel me? I could have easily been either in a gang or been in the union. I'm not doing either. You feel me? Just choosing what I want to do in my life.
And I understand what Nate is saying about like, yes, I think we should be more aware of what's going on in our city's government, you know, whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Who's running the city. But that's not the only thing that's affecting
Never said
us,
it
bro.
was.
I'm saying what's more important is the active choices that everybody's making.
I don't
bro.
think so, bro. I feel like that's like really
Bro,
like
no
you're
one was gonna
blaming the
force
people,
Tomo.
bro.
No one's gonna force Tomo to join a gang, bro.
Nigga, what?
What? That
That's-
happens more often
see, that's
than
what I
you
mean,
think.
bro.
Happens more often.
That's
than
what
you
I
think.
mean, bro.
No.
Like you think
That's-
everything is like an active thing that people are doing. They're like, you know what? I'm
No,
gonna join
there
the gang
are- there
today.
are
Like, that's not the
situations where
case,
people-
bro.
I said something the other day on Twitter. I was like, everything is a choice, even when it isn't. But sometimes, like, if you making the choice to not do something, it could cause your life. You feel me? Even though you have that choice, but people are gonna choose what's gonna preserve them. So it's like a forced choice. You feel me? Like, yeah, niggas might have the choice to not join the gang, but that might cost them their life.
Not everybody has the same
hear you.
like,
Shit.
privilege to not.
And
be
like
able to
you
do those
said,
things.
they at the end of the day they could choose the other option, but it's like
And those examples
what
exist.
circumstances,
I really,
you know what I mean?
I do agree with you. I'm not trying to invalidate those.
But you right,
But
everything's
a lot of the
choice,
things
nigga.
I seen though, niggas was doing that shit for fashion, bro.
Doing what for fashion?
Like just being involved in some dumb shit, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
some
times.
niggas, yeah.
A lot of times
niggas
it's
do
them
it.
making that
But I
choice.
wouldn't say that's most of the like most of the examples.
I would say
bro.
it's most of them. I feel like the situation where you're saying like you had no choice but to join a gang because your family was involved or your life was at like risk or anything. I feel like that's a very small
Sometimes it's
percentage.
because niggas, right, and your family might be in a gang, and no matter what, if niggas see you with them niggas, it's smoke, whatever.
It's
So you might as well
associated,
just be
yeah.
in the gang.
That's
nigga.
very important.
Sometimes you need the bread
Yeah,
because if you don't, nigga, you're not gonna have a place to live.
yeah.
Sometimes
I
you
want
need
to
be
say
able
like
keep
there's
the
other
lights
ways to make
on.
bread, but yeah,
I
hey,
feel
man,
you,
I
but
feel
when
you.
you're a 14-year-old and you're a 13-year-old,
Sell
nigga,
some Jolly Ranchers in the lunch tables, bro.
you gotta get the Jolly Ranchers first, nigga.
Nigga, that ain't gonna
You
get
ain't
you
got no
shit.
bread to get the Jolly Ranchers with you. You gonna steal that
You
shit?
ain't even
And
gonna
even
get
then,
a,
that's not gonna be able to
Steal
keep the lights
Steal
on.
your first one. Steal your first
That's
one.
not gonna
Yeah,
be able to keep the
flip
lights
it.
on.
You ain't even gonna get $1 from selling a Jolly Rancher, bro.
Okay, those.
And that's not gonna be able to keep the
You was
lights
selling
on.
Jolly Ranchers?
I'll
Nigga,
say
you
saying
was
that as an
gambling.
example.
The
just
kid
saying
that's
as like a
responsible for
example.
keeping his lights on, bro. I don't have an answer for that kid.
Nigga, Brockton
I
is
really don't.
most of the niggas that go to Brockton High that look like you, nigga, are poor.
Yes,
Niggas are living below the poverty line.
I was not always well off.
I never
bro.
said you were. I'm just saying that there's a reason why niggas make these decisions. It's not just like they had a choice and it's like you
Of
didn't have
course,
to
there's
do that.
nuance to it. I'm not
But I'm
saying.
saying the way you're saying it though doesn't sound like you're acknowledging that. It sounds like you're being like these niggas, they didn't have to do that. He should have done this instead, or he didn't have to do that.
Yes,
That's
'cause-
mad pretentious, bro.
No.
I know that's not what you're trying to say.
No,
but
I'm
like,
holding people accountable, bro. You feel me?
Kind of, but it's also like you're blaming them at the same time.
Yeah, bro.
That's
I
fucking-
am
that's-
blaming them, bro.
like, do you hear
I
yes,
feel like
you
it's the
worsen in the
same-
name. You worsen in the community, bro.
it's
I
the
am
s-
blaming you for doing that
I
shit.
feel
What
like
the
we've
fuck?
touched these waters
It's the
before. When we
same
had this
thing.
conversation when we recorded at AM, bro. The niggas are like, "Oh, but you like, why do you think I'll be Republican?" It's like,
I think it's the same thing about.
No, when it comes to y'all, I'm
I'm
definitely
saying,
more
bro.
conservative than y'all,
Look at
but I
that.
just don't
I remember that
identify
one.
as a conservative.
I remember that
That's
Look
what
at
I
it
will
like
say.
this, bro. What you're doing right now is equivalent to when you were blaming the students for the school being bad instead of blaming the school for the school being bad.
No. I literally just said like what I thought was the issue with Brockton High. You feel me? I didn't say like there was underfunding. That's clear. Like
sure.
there's instability with the teachers' employment, and you feel
Facts.
me? And then on top of that, there's such a disciplinarian approach to the way they're teaching. You feel me? When I did have that 1 year at Framingham
It's a
High,
school
you
policy,
never had to
too.
worry about that shit because kids didn't feel the need to like roast the teacher or throw shit at the teacher or
Why
disrupt
do
the
they
class and
feel
stuff
like
like
that,
that.
though?
You feel
Because
me?
the school is built like a
feel me?
fucking prison, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Nobody's forcing you to be a disruption to the class, bro.
Nigga, the
like I was
school is built
I was
like a
often a
prison.
disruption to the class. Those were my personal choices, bro. It
I
wasn't the
feel
school
you.
Why
forcing
did
me
you
to
do
do
it?
Why
anything.
did you choose those things?
Why did you do it?
Attention
This is like-
seeking,
I was
bro.
about to say,
Why
there's a
did
lot
you
of
need
things that
that
could be going
attention?
on. Maybe you weren't stimulated because there's so many kids in your classroom
feel
that
me?
you're just not being attended to.
You ever thought about why you
look
did
at
all the
other,
things you
look
did?
at other towns,
Niggas is
bro.
making y'all walk single
Like-
file in this big ass school. Y'all over here moving like sardines.
You wasn't walking single file.
Well, yeah, exactly, because
It's
you couldn't.
opposite.
Nigga, you was trying to get, you was
Too many
walking
niggas.
like that in the scattered day.
I'm
nigga,
in
you was
an
like, getting
overpopulated
attention.
ass
Nigga,
school,
that is
too.
called, you know what else is like that? A prison. There's
Oh.
a reason why niggas is acting like that. It's not them niggas' fault, bro. I know bullshit. It's not them niggas' fault. I'm not hearing it.
Nah, trying to take zero accountability.
Nah, bro,
I'm not with it.
I would rather.
because
I would much first blame the circumstances than
you
blame
can
the
do
individual. The
both,
individual,
bro.
the individual
And
is the blame
that's the
for their
approach I
individual
can't agree
actions.
with, bro.
I feel you. But
Hold
nigga,
both accountable.
throw niggas in that situation.
I don't
and
know,
the majority
bro.
of the
One
time,
thing
niggas
for
don't
talking
act
about
like
like grown, mature
Tight, you
individuals.
feel me? We're
bro.
talking
These are
about children,
kids, bro.
nigga.
These are kids.
not
13,
even-
14,
Bro, this shit that you
15
did
niggas
year
are
olds,
looking back,
16
you'd be like,
year
why the
olds, bro.
fuck did I do that?
Nah, bro, you sure.
And because you just wasn't thinking, bro. You just acting. There was no thought behind what you did.
You're not wrong.
And you can't expect them
But
to move differently. They're
I'm
children.
not gonna look back
You
and,
have to build
look at the
those values and
mistakes I
instill them in
made
them.
and try to put that blame, shift the blame on somebody else, bro. I can acknowledge like these factors impacted my behavior and all that, but at the end of the day, I made the decisions I made, bro. And I
feel
don't
you.
think
For
people take enough
sure.
accountability.
But that's not what we're
For
saying.
sure.
Though. We're
But
trying
I'm
to
agreeing with
emphasize-
what you're saying. I think just the way y'all are weighing it is different.
Yeah,
Y'all put
because
a
it's
way more weight on it.
because that's
Because
it's
people in other environment aren't making these same decisions because they're not for me, the way the environment is impacting them is not, you feel me, if you go into a different school, like certain private schools and shit, you don't see kids acting out like that. You know why?
Because
Because they're
the
in a different
environment's
environment, nigga.
That's a fact.
It is facts.
You want to talk about
No, I was
facts?
literally gonna bring
I'm
up
not
because
denying
even the
that
point
at
that you
all.
brought up that like you was in talented and gifted classes, you're separated, bro. You look at a town like Watertown, my nigga. All them niggas in them classrooms are probably just as smart as you, if not more. And that's the evil,
I think
even
they're
playing
smarter. They
field
just
for
have
them.
probably better, more resources.
But that's the whole point.
I feel
That
you.
there is no separation in towns like that.
Oh, you
because
don't think
they're
I know
all-
that, bro? You don't think I know if a
But no.
city is if the average income is way
I think we
higher
know
that
you
the
know.
city
We're trying to
taxes,
get you to say it
the
in
local
different ways.
taxes are gonna fund the school to give them more resources?
We
I
know,
know that.
We know that you know. We're trying to get you to say it in a different way so it doesn't sound like you're a dickhead.
I'm not being a dickhead, bro.
You are.
Maybe I am being a dickhead.
Like,
Actually,
you
I don't give a fuck. I'm
You do, though.
looking at the camera and
so
I'm
do you
saying
not give a
You said,
fuck
"I
or do
don't
you
give a
care
fuck,
about it? Which one
man."
is
it's
it, bro?
don't
both,
give a
bro.
fuck.
It's both because I could turn around and say I want reform.
They don't stand on nothing, bro.
No, bro, because yo, not everything is black and
You
white, bro. It's
flippy-floppy.
mad gray, bro. Y'all treat it like yo, it's either this
But
or
we're not
that,
saying that.
bro.
We're recognizing that niggas do have a decision.
You
right?
just
we got
said
that.
I
But
would
we're
put
saying
all
that,
the
though.
blame on the
I
infrastructure
said
before I even.
No.
I would first blame the infrastructure before I blame the individual.
Sure.
The individual is
Like,
responsible for
bro.
the actions, but the infrastructure is responsible for the individual. You see what I'm saying? So blaming the individual first is like, sure, cool, but that's mad surface level.
I don't
You
think I'm
gotta
blaming
get,
them first. I'm acknowledging all that, but we all know that stuff. So that's why I'm not
You
kinda
say that?
putting mad focus on it.
You say that?
because like I know what the effects of an impoverished area is gonna do to like
Hey, bro.
the mentalities of the people living in there. I like, but also, hey,
Feel
man,
me?
we gonna get in circles. You feel me?
So okay, can I ask you this?
What's up?
This whole Lil Tay situation, right? Are you blaming her?
How you
Or you
jump to that?
blaming fucking her parents or her older brother and shit like that?
Her family for sure.
So how's that?
But
any
also,
different?
this child was wilding, bro.
No, but like, how's she wilding, bro?
But
She's a
no,
little
I'm
kid
blaming her
being
parents. I'm
exploited.
blaming her parents very much more.
So why is it any different for the kids?
Because they black.
What? Don't do that.
Man,
Don't
got
do
caught,
that, bro.
Like,
Because they
if you
black.
if you can see the nuance with this situation, be like, oh no, it's the parents, it's the older brother. Then
okay,
like,
there's a
what the
difference
fuck?
when my
Black people
when my
have less
mom
sympathy for
who
black
works
people.
hard, who's like grinding her ass off, waking up early, sending me to school, and then me acting a fool.
I don't know, bro.
victim.
I feel like the whole getting deeper, bro.
Yo, victim.
Bro, and me acting a fool is different than like a parent like encouraging their kid to be on some like my parents weren't encouraging me to like disrespect my teachers, bro. At no point, yo, the teachers used to complain about me, and a lot of times I'm like, yo, I wish my mom stuck up for me, bro. You feel me? In those situations,
You're
but
a victim.
maybe in some situations, sure, but I'm not gonna embody a victim mentality, bro.
It's
and I
not
feel like a
about
lot
that.
of people do that too,
Did she,
bro. And I
did she
hate that.
change the circumstances?
Did my mom change my
did she help
circumstances?
change your
Or
circumstances?
more so, did your circumstances change? Like, when did you stop acting a fool?
Tight.
And
When did
ask
I-
yourself, what
Never.
was really changing in my
When
life
did I
that's like, huh,
stop
maybe I
acting
stopped
a
doing it.
fool?
When I met this nigga, he was acting a fool, bro, in college, bro.
Oh, bullshit. Nigga, you was acting way more of a fool, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, nigga. I still do. But hey,
You
bro, it's
stand
my
on
life.
shit.
But no, I think Lil Tay is different because I think that when your parents are also encouraging you, that's even worse, bro. I don't think my like most parents, like if they seen the behavior the kid was doing at school, they'd be like, yo, I did not raise you to do that shit. I did not raise you to be like that. I think the Lil Tay situation there, I don't even know what's happening with the Lil Tay. I'm assuming this is all for clout and they like acted like the account got hacked so that, you know, they can be back in relevance, but I can't prove that. But that's just my theory. And that's why this generation's also
They
cooked.
doing some bad things, bro. I don't like that shit.
I'm convinced,
neither.
bro. Black people
You need
got
to
less
get a page
sympathy for
deleted.
black people.
You said what?
I'm convinced black
Why
people
you-
have less sympathy for black people.
No,
No, we've been
bro.
through that, though.
No.
Type shit.
We've been knew that.
Type shit.
He's always gonna twist it into something.
And
I'm
like,
not
in the
talking about
same
you,
way,
nigga.
bro,
I'm just
like-
saying in general. Although you are
It's
you
stemming
are
from
an
this
example.
conversation,
You
so
are
I
an
know where it's
example
coming.
though, but I'm
Like, I
not
thought
talking
we had a
you
conversation
specifically.
about
No,
this too. Like,
it's
we're
me,
quicker.
like-
Black people are quicker to like even embrace other races before their own.
type shit.
And it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this not
Like, I
true.
see
weird,
black,
bro.
I see black kids struggling, and I'll be like, damn, we need to change the circumstances. Like,
Like,
why did I'm like, it sucks that niggas is doing this. I'm sorry that your life is going to shit, and I'm sorry that you're throwing life away making these decisions you're making. Like, you wouldn't be making those decisions if the circumstances were different. We need to change that.
Sure, but
Niggas be like, stop making them decisions. Well, nigga.
it's not just stop. It's not as simple as just stop, but it's not like way before where like the access, like as long as you got some internet, bro, you have access to so much, bro. And what are you gonna say? Internet's mad inaccessible? Like I'm sure for some people, for most people, it's not like you could go to McDonald's, bro. Like it's not impossible to get Wi-Fi access. You go to your local library, bro.
You just don't get it, bro.
Bro, at some point you gotta also like if you wanna, if
I hear what you're saying.
the
I
whole
feel you.
black population really just want to uplift itself, bro, out of like us being in the conversation that's associated with like victim.
Niggas say, you know how you stop being oppressed? Stop being oppressed.
Stop always feeling. Yeah, no, you want to stop being. Obviously,
you know how hard it is. To fight
obviously,
oppression
you got to
constantly
combat
being oppressed?
obviously, you got to combat the oppressor, bro.
And the system, right? The
Of
system
course,
that
of course,
oppresses you.
I'm so with you, 100%. But you also got to stop looking at yourself like a victim all the time.
That's facts, and nobody's saying that niggas is victims. We're saying
I hear you, bro. But
don't
it's
place
hard.
blame on the people who
It's
are
really
victims at
hard
the
when
same
every day
time.
you wake up and you understand there's a lot of situations in your life or factors in your life that's like, yo, why the fuck is shit like this? And
Out
it's
of your
not in
control.
my control.
I feel you.
That there's motherfucking politicians or whatever who don't even know who the fuck, they don't even relate to me, affecting my life. And it's like, damn, why the fuck did I get this?
You still go through that to this day.
Type
We all go
shit.
through that to this day. There's things beyond our control. So what type of mentality did you develop?
Nigga, but that's I'm
No,
not.
no,
No,
I'm
but
not-
no,
can
no,
you
don't
just
do
answer?
that.
Wait,
No,
wait,
but
wait,
don't
can you
do that
just
because
answer?
I understand that.
Can you
Even
just
though I think that
Because
way,
everybody
even though
eventually
I
has
move
to
that way-
learn that you can't stress what you can't control.
And bro, what did we talk about a couple weeks ago? That there's certain things that I'm doing that you're like, yo, like you shouldn't look at it that way. Be easy on yourself. Did we not have that conversation?
No. I think we're addressing two different
No, but it's the
things.
same point. It's like, yo, why do you have such a mentality where you have to think about, I constantly have to work this hard or do this or, you know,
Facts.
impress myself this way. Why?
'Cause that's
Because I know if I do
life.
that, it could change my circumstances for the
For
better.
sure.
Right?
For sure.
Okay then.
Bro, life is not
but you
fair,
gotta
bro.
understand, but
I
some
hate
niggas
that
don't
life
have,
isn't
but
fair,
some niggas
bro.
don't have that drive in themselves to be like, yo, I'm gonna work myself to the fucking bone
Because
to
oppression
change
hit
my
different.
life. Some niggas ain't built like that. And I'm not gonna look at them any different because they don't move that way.
I'm not gonna look at them any differently either, bro.
So
They're still
but why are you
humans,
saying
bro.
that to me like, oh, but what did you do? Just because I did that?
No. I'm asking. It was just a question to get you to the point of like not stressing the things you can't control. I think that's a universal law that everybody could develop because regardless of where you grew up in, you are going to face a
You've been
situation.
able to do that. I've
where-
been able to do that, bro. Maybe because our circumstances aren't drastic enough that we're able to do that.
Yo,
Facts.
it's a miserable life if you stress the things you can't
You ever
control,
felt your
bro.
stomach tip the back of your back?
Hey,
for sure. For sure,
Never
bro.
had food in your fridge?
There'd be a day like a couple of days
A
where you
day.
didn't hit the grocery store. But no,
I'm
I did
saying,
not.
you ever had like, you never was like, damn, bro, I really can't eat dinner this week. I don't got no food.
This week, no.
Type shit.
So I'm appreciating my parents for that.
So when
No
you're
bullshit.
saying like, yo, sometimes, like I'm saying, you're saying like, don't worry about shit you can't control. Nigga,
No
eating
bullshit.
is something that you have to worry about. And when you can't get that food, nigga, you gotta get that
Okay.
food somehow, nigga. I mean, everybody's
Bro.
circumstances are different. So I'm not about to be going around being like, nigga, change your ways. When it's like, nigga, how do we get the circumstances around you to change as well? Those things are like, I don't think they're equally as important. The circumstances are significantly more important because to me, the circumstances prevent the decisions from having to be made in the first place. You want to talk about not worrying about what niggas don't have to worry about, what you can't control? It's like you have to sometimes. Because if you don't, no one's worrying about it for you.
no,
And nothing's gonna change if you don't take action.
the mentality of saying don't worry about the things you can't control is like acknowledging the things you can't control and then coordinating. Well, if this is the issue, if this is the problem I'm facing, what can I do to solve that?
I hear you, bro.
Feel me?
Some days you can. Some days you just feel defeated.
Some days your fucking
Some
stomach
days you
hitting
just
your
really feel
back.
defeated.
Can I
bro.
tell you the reality? The reality is, bro, some people, and I've said this, bro, some people get the worst like cards dealt to them. I don't have a solution for that, bro. I can't. I'm really speaking to the average person who has some semblance of control over their reality, bro. I'm not talking about to those extreme situations.
The average
I can't
person,
answer that. I cannot
I
answer
wouldn't
that.
say that's the average black person, bro. And I wouldn't say that's the average person, the average
You think the
youth living-
average black
I wouldn't say
person
that's the
starves
average,
every
I wouldn't
week?
say that's
Or
the
not, like,
average
starves
young-
for a week?
Listen, I wouldn't say that's the average young person living in Brockton.
I'm asking you, do you think the average black person in Boston,
Most
Brockton,
black
wherever-
people in the United States live below the
I
poverty
was about to
line.
say,
I'm
you're
not
talking about
denying that. I'm
Massachusetts,
talking about
which is
like
a minority.
going a week without eating, bro.
Not saying going a week without eating. Saying that I would say that most black people, right, that live in the United States
Mhm.
are poor. So worrying about
Like-
eating is something they actually have to worry
That's
about.
statistically true. Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
So when you're talking about average, you're talking about like average, but what does that mean?
Okay,
If you're talking about young people in Brockton, the average young person in Brockton is poor as fuck.
for sure. But I also think, hold on. I'm with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I feel you.
But the things that you can control, when I'm talking about the things you can control, you feel me? Are financial literacy. Like, you got to ask the questions first. Like, how are these people saving money? Like, you feel me? Do they have healthy habits? Are they spending? Are they putting themselves in debt that they don't need to be putting themselves into, which is creating a bigger hole that they are in control of? You feel me? Like, you can't control that initial situation. Like, yo, I have a poor paying job and but like, also,
Bro, I think you overestimating that shit, bro. No bullshit, nigga.
let me ask you a question, bro. Does someone not have control if they decide to have a child and that child becomes a financial burden on them, and then that child like is the reason why they can't go to school.
Let's
or
ask the
like,
question now: why they have the child in the first place? What are the
Motherfuckers is
circumstances?
fucking-
That
I'm
led to
sure.
that?
I'm sure there's circumstances
But why?
around that because they're
I will say
exposed
this
to.
one though. I do.
You have an active choice about whether you have a
Yeah,
kid. or
like-
not.
Facts.
I'm not gonna hold
You
you.
do have an active choice whether or not you engage in that act.
Being exposed
But
to
what's dri-
sexual
don't have
shit
sex.
though, like
Right.
that might not be out of your. That might
and
not
then,
be in your
and
control.
then lack of exposure to contraceptives, stigma around those things. What are we doing to change that? You know what I'm saying?
So those
I
things
feel
are
you,
in your
but that's
control.
more
though.
so
Come on.
like
no. Sometimes like the lack of access to contraceptives is in your control.
bro.
I'm not saying that's every person, but that's a real thing.
No. The knowledge
Access,
of having
no,
no.
right?
But the thing is, you don't need to have access if you're not having unprotected sex, bro. You still got to make that decision to have unprotected sex, bro. Like you can't complain.
I think-
oh, we
I
don't have
think-
access to. Don't have unprotected sex, bro. Don't do shit that's gonna lead you to having a kid and put you in a worse financial situation, bro. I noticed because like
Huh?
I have aunts, uncles like who had kids at a very young age. I learned from them to be able to see like I'm not gonna make that same mistake, but that's an active choice, bro. That is an
Alright.
active choice.
I never
to have
said
a
it
kid.
wasn't. I'm
Nah, I
saying
feel
that
you.
the circumstances
I agree
they're
with
in
that.
though.
I do
It's a
agree
different
with
story.
that.
You feel so that like that's how the snowball turns into a fucking avalanche. You feel me? Because that one thing could turn into like their lives just becoming continuously harder. You feel me?
feel you.
And I don't have an answer for that because that would require you to turn
We're
back
gonna let the viewers judge
the
that
hands
one.
of time. I think the viewers will honestly say we both have a point, bro.
I don't know. There's a couple times both of y'all niggas, I know y'all not personally, but I know y'all had to cop plan B sometimes, and we spoke about it before. If the shorty didn't want to take the plan B, then
What
what's
if you
gonna
can't
happen
afford
there?
it?
I was
Yeah.
young and ignorant.
No bullshit.
And
What
the
if
thing
you
is-
can't afford
And
it?
that's the thing about
so,
life, bro.
So who would I blame in that situation then if my girlfriend then got
At that
pregnant?
point, I had to blame myself, nigga.
Yourself.
No bullshit. I had to blame myself.
Yeah.
You blame
No one
yourself.
told me. No one told me to be out here fucking. No
You blame
bullshit.
exactly right, exactly. Like we said, you blame yourself for getting yourself
In
into
that
the
situation.
circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Into the situation.
Absolutely.
What are the circumstances surrounding your decision?
Circumstances surrounding myself. But at the end of the day, though, but it's like no one told me to go and have sex.
I feel you, bro.
Like that part was my
Feel you.
decision.
Never said it wasn't.
Ain't no one influenced me to be like, oh yeah, you engage in sex at 15, 16 years old. It's
Never
like,
said it
I
wasn't.
just did that on my own.
Think about the circumstances surrounding that decision. And I feel like if you understand the circumstances and you're able to like look deeper into it, I'm not saying that you alleviate any of that blame on yourself, saying that you understand the nuance of the situation. It's not as black and
So
white.
can you answer that question for yourself?
For
Like
myself,
where are you trying to go with that? Like what are the circumstances that would cause?
like I said, there's a bunch of different circumstances that every individual might be getting into. There's a hypersexualization of young black and brown people that happens in our community itself.
I
You feel
acknowledge
me?
that.
Through the music, through the TV shows, through the culture itself.
Oh,
You feel me? That
bullshit,
happens
yeah.
all the time.
Niggas-
Niggas get
niggas,
sexually
yeah.
assaulted as children and they're hypersexualized as mid-teens to adults.
Yep.
Feel me? That shit happens all the time. Niggas have lack of access to contraceptives and resources. Niggas is poor. Niggas can't afford the shit that they need to afford to be able to like prevent pregnancy
And I
in the
think,
first place.
and
There's a lot of
I think that's the
circumstances.
essence.
There's a lot
that's
of
the whole
stuff.
essence of this conversation. Despite all of those things, all those
Unprotected
influences, you
sex is-
still have to make that active choice.
Unprotected sex is a very specific choice. Like that's a very specific thing that some people go through. You feel me? That's
Bro.
a very specific thing that you can still
Consensually,
choose.
yes.
not to
Hold
do.
on, hold on.
But that's very
Consensually,
specific.
yes.
But isn't that probably
Very specific.
Wait, you say it's very specific, but I don't know the stats on it, but I would jump off the ledge to say that's a big reason why a lot of people, if you're talking about the people who are living under the poverty line, bro, how many of those people have kids? And now you gotta pay for babysitting. You got like that's probably the first aspect of it that
Cool.
causes them to
But
be
you're
in
gonna
those
blame-
situations,
Now you're
bro.
gonna blame their kids for not being
I'm not
being in the
blaming
same
their
classes
kids.
as
I'm
you,
blaming them.
like-
I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm just saying that choice is
So
what is what potentially worsened your situation.
I got you.
You already
but-
was in this shitty situation. You only made it shittier, bro.
And so when you, all right, so cool. So we're talking. Let's go back to what we were originally talking about the students at Brockton High.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the school.
It's the same thing with the thing.
They're treated as prisoners.
all of
there
those
all
things.
these things
All of those
go
things.
on.
I was exposed to all those things, and I'm not just speaking to myself because there's a whole bunch of classmates and peers and stuff who are doing way better than me too, bro. You feel me? It's
Cool.
not. I'm not.
Most
the
of them are not.
outlier for sure,
Most
bro.
of them were not.
Most of them made an active decision.
All right, bro. I feel like that's a wild way to look at it at that point.
You gotta. I don't know. You gotta hold people accountable eventually,
I
bro.
feel you, bro. But that's the thing.
Because you
is that
can
you're working to-
acknowledge. You
you're
can
working to
acknowledge
hold
all
them-
those.
You're working to hold them
influences and
accountable and
impacts.
not working to change the circumstances.
But
If you're gonna hold them accountable, do both. Hold on.
the thing is, I'm going to do that in the way that it works for me. And that might sound selfish, but not everybody's meant to be like a social justice warrior, and not everybody has the capacity to go.
You're talking about social justice, nigga.
I know.
I'm talking about feeding kids. like it's just
I'm just saying,
make sure
bro,
that
like,
niggas have food in there.
Like,
I
stomach.
it's nice when people
though.
go out the way to do that, but like it's not realistic to put that responsibility on everybody, bro.
Nigga, I'm not putting it on everybody. I'm saying if niggas don't advocate for it, you're not gonna get it. It don't cost nothing to advocate for something.
I mean,
All
that's
it
why
costs is
we here.
time.
That's why we driving a conversation. Like it might.
I feel you, but
It
the
might,
nigga,
I
but I'll
could
say
do
this.
more, but I'm doing something by having this conversation.
For a nigga not knowing the city councilors, do you vote, nigga? Do you do anything? Like, I'm not saying that, but it's like, nigga, like you could at least like
You're
talk,
right.
talk
You're
to
right.
somebody
I
if
feel
you
you.
reduce, like, you know what I
feel you.
mean?
You're right.
I feel you.
Because we having this
But at the same time, I will say this
nigga.
though. It'd be one thing if I was a hypocrite walking around
Fact.
saying like, oh,
That's
I want
facts.
this to change and da-da-da. I'm not doing that. Because I know I'm not doing anything to also change it or improve it in any sense.
I feel
You know
you.
what I mean? If a nigga was walking around, complaining about certain shit in his environment, da-da-da, yeah, you're a hypocrite. If you are moving around where it's like, yo, I'm not involved in that and I don't want to engage in it just because that's just not something that I feel as though I can contribute to. I will say you do have a responsibility.
As
Do you
someone
want to
that lives there
neglect
type
it?
shit.
By all means, sure, you can.
But don't come coming for me, a nigga from Boston, talking about why I wouldn't want to raise a family in Brockton. And given the reasons that I gave, it makes no sense. That's hypocritical.
I agree.
Especially
If
in
that
my
was the
reason.
scenario.
It was the scenario.
That was not the original. That was not the original
You want
thing
to
we
read
was
it?
discussing. We was just talking about the price in the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
The price
That was
of
it.
living is too high to justify Boston.
The price of
Brockton
living
public
is
schools.
high everywhere, bro.
That's what I said.
Literally.
I already said that.
I get that's not what I'm saying. The cost of living is too high to justify raising a family there because the education system is poor. High cost of living, poor education. You want to find somewhere where there's a balance. Or like, you know what I mean?
And that's where I combat it is
like,
that
what?
I don't think that access to a good education is impossible.
I didn't say it was impossible. You don't want, it's not about
And-
it being,
or
it being a
inaccessible, or
possibility.
inaccessible,
Not saying
bro.
you don't want it to be a possibility. You want it to be a guarantee or like something sure based on where you're at. Because sometimes you'll go somewhere where the cost of living is low, but the cost of education is low. You're like, I can justify that because it was less.
Like Mississippi.
Type shit. It's like, it's not really about the education as much. It's more so just about making sure that you have a place to live. You feel me? That's the priority. But if I'm talking about education, you feel me? Then it's like, I need to find middle ground or it needs to be like, yeah, I mean,
agree.
if I'm going to pay that much money, the education better be bust. And I don't feel like Brockton got it because they don't. Like statistically, they do not. Now you're saying that it's a possibility. I get you. You're saying that there is access to it, but it's not for most of the students that go to Brockton High. It's not for most of the students and young people that
If
live
they
in Brockton.
decide not to take
But doesn't that
advantage
somewhat
of it.
contribute to solving the problem?
In some ways.
People moving into a neighborhood,
That is true.
increasing
In some ways.
taxes that go
Property
into the
taxes
city.
will fund
Like, does that not
the
contribute
education
to the
system.
issue?
in some ways. But like I said before, when you're talking about infrastructure off rip, what is happening for the students that are in that school right now? What's happening for the students that have graduated from that school?
Now, if
what are
the-
the alumni? Excuse me, what are the alumni channels looking like? What does it look like when you're talking about like, you know what I mean, building the infrastructure of the school or even taking in feedback from graduates and wanting to change the infrastructure from within? Where does that stuff start? Because like you're talking about people moving in and changing it. The majority of people that are gonna move in, they don't look like us.
That's true.
That's why the price
is
is so
true.
high. So that's what I'm
That
saying.
is
It's
true.
the exact opposite of what you're saying, in fact. Because although it is gonna have like a response, like it is gonna change that, by the time you see Brockton High make those changes, if you're talking about people moving in because the cost of living is too high for most black people to afford, then you're gonna be looking
But if we
at.
keep the black dollar black, if it's black people moving in,
But it's not.
I'm saying,
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
if we're
we're
making
not
these
gonna be.
scenarios, my scenarios, it's a black family moving in and buying that shit for $900,000.
But it's probably not going
It
to
probably
be.
is
And
not,
you
though.
know
I
that
agree. It
because
might
the
be
same
Asian.
shit's happening in Boston.
I agree.
You feel me?
I see-
So that's
I
what I'm
feel
saying.
you,
It's like,
bro.
yeah, the
I
school
feel you.
increase, the school get better for the white
I
kids,
mean,
not
there
for us.
literally is a
That's
problem
true.
in Boston right now.
And that's something that has to shift. That's why I'm saying it from the perspective I'm saying it, where it's like, yo,
Hey man,
I wouldn't want to move there.
Jalen Brown, bro, help us.
No, don't
mean,
go
no?
looking for saviors. What did
No,
what
I'm
did
talking
they
about,
say?
I'm not looking
no
for saviors. That's
saviors.
what he came out and said that himself.
I feel you. Now, you really want to change, bro? We, like you said, keep the black dollar black, encourage black entrepreneurship, educate people on financial literacy.
yeah.
Like, yo, not just hold yourself accountable, but like, yo, strive for greater, because greater is accessible. It's not easy. Not saying it's not easy. Not saying it's not
possible.
I'm not. There's forces working against you. Work harder, bro.
It's
And
possible.
for most people, that won't be the case, bro, because that's not the way our system is structured. Our system is structured so that more people are doing bad and are in shittier jobs because someone's got to do the shitty jobs for the shit to run, bro. If everybody was doing their dream job, then I don't think society is going to be functioning well. You might disagree because you think a different system could be in
I'm
place.
not even saying all
But
that. I'm
within
just
the
saying
current
shitty
system-
jobs as well.
If you wanted to be black fans, we got to encourage. It's like, yo, you got to do great things.
Facts, but you shouldn't have
Get a
to.
college education, bro. Put yourself in a high paying
Facts,
job.
but you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to overcome.
You might not
Hey, man, you
have
also
to go
get
get a
a
bachelor's, bro. But if you know that's a
I'm not even
skill
saying that.
under
I'm
your
saying
hands.
that.
It don't got to be college only.
Like, I'm saying that while we're striving for that greatness, let's start to alleviate some of that pressure that we're putting on young
Because a
people
lot
right
What
of
did you
now.
people are
just
going to go to. I said, get a traded skill as well under your hands.
for sure. As long as it's got to be a skill. Yeah. You can't
Some of
just
that
go get a
stuff isn't
degree for
accessible as well.
anything, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And like I said, I don't disagree with that. I'm saying that while in the same breath as us saying that, like, yes, like it's possible, you just got to work, like that's a very much like a bootstrap mentality. I don't believe in that. I feel like while we're preaching that, we as people who have now like moved beyond that point to some extent have to be doing that work. I feel like that's mad. I feel like it's not hypocritical. I think it's disrespectful to those young people to be like, yo, do better. Like, look, it's possible. I'm showing you all these avenues. But it's like at the end of the day, like they have that autonomy. Make the choices easier for them.
Okay. So I agree. I could do more.
Do the work.
I agree. I can do more. And the thing is,
Make that system easier for them to navigate.
I would want to build enough to the point that like I can eventually financially be able to like help as
And
well.
you might never get to that point, bro. So,
Maybe.
I'm saying,
So
do
that's
it
what
now.
I'm doing
Do it
right.
and do
What I'm
anything.
doing right now is leading by example. You feel me? I could show people like, yo, you could still pursue your dreams and like pursue your hobbies and all that, and do that on the side while having to realistically, you feel me? Go get a job that you might not love, but you know that it's gonna put you in a financially sound position. You know, and I'm showing that you could balance both. You don't have to pick one or the other. You know what I mean? And it
Facts.
shows that like whatever you put your mind to, you can do that shit. You feel me? But
You got a mentee,
Yo.
Yves, like that go to Brockton High.
he got a mentee. What do you say, Dorian?
That goes to Brockton High.
I wouldn't say that. Dorian's his own person.
Dorian is your, but I'm saying
But
like
it's like
He said he's
I'm
his own person. You
like-
good.
your mentee's always
Just
gonna
because
be
you have
their
a
own
mentor
person.
don't mean you're own
no,
person.
I feel you, right? It's just more something. The way he said it, it's like, oh, like
No, but it's
he's
being
following
able to
me.
like,
It's like, he's not following
like you
me.
have some wisdom
Oh, yeah, I
with the
feel you.
couple years that you got over, and it's like, yo, you see a younger you in him, don't you?
I would say it's more like a big brother, little brother dynamic.
Okay.
I want to
There's
say
still
my
some
mentee.
mentorship within that, bro. You feel
I'm
me?
saying it's helpful to be able to
No.
at least like find
Okay.
somebody.
I wanna
you know what I
say-
mean?
Maybe I
Let
jumped
me
out
make-
the window. It's
Let me
all
make
good.
this process a little easier.
Yeah, but like, I want to say mentee because like I feel like that establishes like he's following in my footsteps to like one day do what I'm doing.
I don't think that's true.
Nah,
I don't
I
think
mean,
that's how
that's-
mentorship
no,
I
works.
feel like that's how I look at it.
Nah.
Something
That's just someone
somebody
that
you
you
could
help.
consult.
Like again, it's just like someone that you help like advise, you feel me? Or just give them like information that they might not be able to receive elsewhere from people that they might be able to trust or not. I mean, it's just someone that you can trust in that can help steer you and help steer your decision making in a way that makes sense for you. Not necessarily makes sense for them, but it's like they'll just let you know like some of the additional options based on their experience in the field. I mean, I have mentees in like the nonprofit space, and some of them are older than me. You feel me? It's like people that I've just like, yo, this is what I've experienced. Like it might be different from your circumstances, but here's some information. You feel me? Like, let me know what you think about that. Do you think that would apply to your circumstances? Is there ways that you can navigate through it? How can I support you? You feel me? Like it's just different stuff like that. And it's just within your capacity. But I think that's the biggest thing about like, not mentorship specifically, but just about like the way that we're describing it is like, I want to tell like all these people like, yeah, make these types of decisions and things are possible.
Yeah.
Like also like, how can I make those decisions easier for you? How can I make that process easier for you in the interim so that when you're faced with another obstacle, maybe that obstacle is not as great as the one that came before because there's something that changed like systemically, or there's something that I helped contribute to make it so that you didn't have to worry about that as much. You feel me? That's what I mean when I'm saying like do something about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a systemic change or you like whatever. But I'm saying like something as simple as like getting people that you know that are like younger and like more like not necessarily like radical in their beliefs, but people that are more like willing to create like people who have the same interests as you in mind, getting them into office is significant, especially when it comes to like your city, like local level.
Agree with that. Hey man, I'm opening up the channels of communication. Is there any way I could help? Any questions y'all got? Send them my way. You feel me?
Me hitting my boy
I
Albin.
feel like
I'm
we definitely all been in that scenario
yeah,
already.
we've
though.
all done that for
Where
sure.
people reach
Anytime
out
I've
to
had
say, yo, like, how did y'all really
with the
get this shit in
podcast shit,
motion?
like
How
yeah,
y'all
you
doing
want
the
to know
shit
how
that
to
you do?
do your own podcast? Like we got help with that. We just want financial literacy. We
Y'all
got help
niggas had
with
a
that.
whole
Like,
workshop.
we did have a
Facts.
workshop. Anytime I have conversations with the youth, bro, like I'm trying to drop gems as much as I can. I post, what's it called? Screenshots of books I'm reading, whatever the case is, or just trying to drop some wisdom, that I learned from somebody else and I just want to pass down, but obviously,
Stop vaping in front of the kids.
who's doing that?
Adults.
Oh,
That
I
niggas is
feel you.
weird. Stop vaping in front of the kids.
Shit's getting out of hand. No
I thought
love.
that shit was gonna die. I thought it was dying
Oh.
now, and it's just I don't know.
Stop
Now-
vaping. I'm not saying that's the reason why the kids is doing it though. Them niggas is wilding. Stop vaping in front of them though. Don't let them see you doing it. So then they be like, no, he's doing it. Don't give them
Seen a
that
nigga
excuse. Them niggas be
yesterday.
wilding.
He was smoking some shit. He's like, yeah, this shit Red Bull flavor. I was like,
Red
that's like
Bull
a double
flavor.
whammy. What the
Crazy.
fuck?
Red Bull don't even taste good.
To me, the wild part is like,
Yeah.
it's in their hand, bro. It's not like in their pocket and they pull it out whenever they need it. Like, it's
Just
in their
holding on
hand.
to
Like,
it.
yo, I might need this at any moment, bro. Hey, man, I'm not here to judge. Nah, I'm here to judge. Y'all wildin'. But, hey, man, I hope y'all
I'm a
find
judgy,
peace.
bro. You gotta cool it.
I hope y'all...
Shit really do be just in their hand the whole time.
all the time, bro. It's crazy, bro. But, hey,
Who's supplying y'all, bro? Who? Yo, cool.
y'all would have thought y'all
I was
got,
gonna
like,
say something. I'm gonna
sponsorship
say off
dollars.
camera,
Cool
nigga.
it.
No bullshit.
Pussy.
I'm heavy. It's niggas
Nah,
that
I
we
can't
know.
say that.
They need to stop.
I
bro.
can't say that, bro.
Cool it,
All right,
bro.
we'll hear it. Hey, man, I think that, it was a slow start,
Kill
but
yourself, not others, bro. Kill yourself, not others.
don't do either.
Facts, if you can, but like if you gonna do it, don't do
Wait,
it.
yeah, no, you wildin', bro.
Don't do it in front of like, bro. Like that shit really killing niggas, bro. Bring back them
Yes.
commercials. Like, yo, I need to see a fucking 15-year-old talking about like I need that.
That's another one of those things. Like, we got to go a
need that.
couple of decades before we see it. Like, you
Nigga,
feel
we
me?
can make a commercial like that right now. I know a couple of y'all niggas that got breathing problems now because of that shit. Let's do it. Let's get y'all on the commercial, bro.
But
Be
you know, it
the
don't hit
example
them until they hear the words cancer,
type shit.
you know?
And it shouldn't have to get to that point.
Hey, man, I
Think
really...
about your breathing before, nigga. Can you run a mile?
No, but... Hey, I've really appreciated this episode. Very passionate, but I think it's a real conversation. We had a lot of topics that were like, I feel like
I don't know.
surface
Do
level.
you want to run through them in the next 30 seconds? Yo, Neo, you was wildin'. Cenat, yeah, bro.
You know
I'm
what I
like,
did
kinda
like
fucked up
about the
with
Neo
that
shit? I'll say one thing. I don't agree
He
with
doubled back.
Neo's stance, but I do like the idea of a celebrity saying, or anybody saying, I'm not going to let y'all bully me into an apology. I'm standing 10 toes. Now, you standing 10 toes in ignorance, so I don't agree with that. But I had wished that Jamie Foxx did the same shit that Neo did. Like,
Yeah, facts.
yo,
Jamie Foxx, you
I
ain't
don't
said
care
nothing wrong,
what
bro. You
y'all
didn't
trying
have
to
to
pressure
apologize
me
for
into
none of that
doing.
shit.
Like,
You ain't have to apologize for none of that shit, bro.
and I
I'm talking about Jamie Foxx, by the way.
Or just don't post it.
Wait, we didn't post nothing crazy, bro.
Nigga,
It's not his fault. Niggas
posted some
misinterpreted
pussy
that shit.
posted some pushy shit. Somebody betrayed him.
He
And that nigga
posted
posted some shit like
fucking
that.
uncle ass shit, bro.
It
That's some
is-
Facebook ass shit, bro. That was some
Like,
Facebook ass
Take
shit.
that shit to Facebook. Why you posting on your Instagram story?
But
How many
like-
followers that nigga got? Like 1 million?
Either way, bro, that's
Type
some old
shit.
nigga shit, bro. And I
That's
knew
not some
damn well
old nigga
exactly
shit.
what
That's
he meant
some-
on my
that's some-
Reddit.
Wait.
That's some young nigga shit.
No, I'm talking about the fucking caption, bro. Like what
That's
it was.
some
Like,
young
oh,
nigga shit.
they
They crucified Jesus too.
you
That's
feel
some
me? Like,
young nigga shit.
Like,
That's
no,
some shit I can
it's
imagine
not.
Kodak posted right now.
No, it's not, bro. Like
No.
Meek Mill's approaching those territories, bro. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's some
bro.
old nigga shit, bro. Like,
wait, hold on. I don't
Nigga,
think...
take that
I
shit
don't-
up with the person you got beef with, bro.
if
Why
we
you
are gonna
posting on
bring up the
social
Neo
media?
shit, I don't think it's right to just say, what's it called? Oh, you was wilding and not explaining that, because a lot of people do like feel the way he feels. Like, yo, this is my child. How I want to raise him. Like, can we point out why there's that stance is
man.
problematic?
Do that shit without me, man. I gotta go.
Well,
bullshit.
well, can I say it and you let me know, and then we can
I
wrap it
gotta
up?
leave, nigga. No bullshit.
I'm here.
nigga.
I'm here.
Look
We'll
what
wrap,
time
we'll
it is,
wrap
nigga.
up
Niggas
in 2 minutes,
You trying to
right?
hold him hostage?
I'm here. We
Nigga,
all
what the fuck?
I'll say this. And you tell me if I'm
wild.
right? The problematic stance of it is by saying, like, he was saying, like, why would I let my 5-year-old make that choice, a life-changing choice and everything? It's choice. But that kind of goes against the foundation of the trans community's argument that this is not a choice. This is how I was born. This is how I've always felt, or whatever the case is. I just wasn't able to explore this till now, until I realized it. But when you say it's a choice, you kind of empower like these ultra conservative politicians who are saying, oh, our kids are being influenced, and there's the propaganda, and
There's that, but there's also that, like, he's talking about like gender affirming surgeries, right? So it's like that is a choice that you have to make, right?
sure.
But like that's not something that a 5-year-old is doing. Like little kids are not doing that. You feel me? Like he's like making shit up, and that's also like that's probably the bigger issue.
I don't know about making that shit
To
up
be
because
honest,
those
because,
examples exist, but I do think
like,
people
they-
take those like 1% of,
It's not even 1%, bro. It's
Whatever
like
the percentage
It's like a very small fraction of a percent.
and then they act like that's the
barely,
reality for
it barely. I can
everybody
probably
in that
count on my
community.
hands the number of times that's happened.
yeah, for
So
the
it's
most
like
part,
niggas bugging.
people in the trans community that I've seen like haven't had surgeries or anything like that. They just
Most
like
trans people
they just
don't get
wear what they
gender-affirming
want to wear. You
surgeries.
know what I mean? It's like it's more about what they wear and you know how they style
The shit-
themselves and stuff like that. That's gonna
So it's twofold. you
express
feel
their
me?
identity.
But it's also on a third level. It's like, nigga, it's your kid. You feel me? You love your child and you believe that your child is like capable of great things. You feel me? Then you have to create an environment where they feel comfortable making decisions, right? And you make those decisions alongside them. Like you can also like those surgeries are usually not happening for fucking anyone that's under like 16 most of the time anyway. But if you're someone's parent, you feel me, and that's how they feel, that's who they are. It's like embracing who they are. You disregard who they are, and you're saying I'm not gonna let them do that. And it's like sure, but you're also like
Now there is a slight truth in
Disregarding
what
part
he
of
was
your-
saying in the sense of like
your
not
child's
a
autonomy
child doesn't
and identity.
have complete autonomy.
That's
In
facts.
general, like you can't just let a kid just make whatever choices he wants. He's right in that sense.
Yeah, that's facts.
You brought the example like, yo, my kid would want to eat candy all day. Doesn't mean I'm gonna let them. You feel me?
Mhm.
There's truth in that sense, but you got to ask yourself like, what's the damage that you could potentially do by denying them of the identity, you know, that they feel like they are. Nate's over it. Nate want to
No,
get out
I
of
just
here.
read more into it. I didn't know there was more to it than what you just added. I didn't know. I didn't see that part of it. I was like, oh,
Well, no,
Yo, who the fuck cares about Neo,
I'm
bro? He's
adding
been
to
bald
that
since he was in
aspect
his
of it,
20s,
you
bro.
feel
I'm not listening to a bald nigga, bro. I'm sorry.
I heard jokes like, yo, my kids said they wanted to wear a fedora all their life. I wouldn't support that either.
No bullshit.
But hey, man, it's been a great conversation. We
Nigga,
appreciate
fuck
y'all.
Neo. The fuck? Bitch ass nigga, bro. There's a reason why God didn't give you hair. Pussy ass nigga. Fuck out of here.
Hey, man.
hey,
regardless,
bro. Some niggas
regardless,
with alopecia might be like, so like, what you saying, bro? Like, why you doing that to
It wasn't
me?
God's favorite.
might be a reason. That's all I'm just sprinkle that in there, bro. Might be a reason.
God,
You
damn.
might not know it yet,
Hey,
but God got a
man.
plan for all of us.
Oh
And
God.
there's a reason why Neo don't got no fucking hair, bro.
Y'all
Shit would
niggas at
probably
that
look
Kai
weird.
Cenat shit, y'all niggas was wilding.
Huh?
Facts.
The Kai
Free my
Cenat
nigga
shit,
Yves,
y'all
man.
niggas was wilding. Yo, relax. Y'all niggas was bugging out. The folding chair shit,
That shit was up.
that shit was crazy. Yeah, no bullshit.
That was lit.
That's a moment.
Bro, it's cool to say. It's funny to say because it's like our people, you feel me? And it's like cool, like we got our get back. But like, bro, when I seen the shorty, the mugshot with the shorty with the purple nose, I felt genuinely bad. I was like, that's fucked, bro.
Why they starting shit they can't finish?
Why are you calling people nigger?
Why are you hitting niggas with a like you Stone Cold Steve Austin? That's wild, bro. You can't act like that's not wild. They're wrong and they deserve an ass whooping, but that was wild. You took it too far. You wilding out here.
I don't like that
You was sympathizing.
type shit.
I'll be giving people
Why
grace.
is it
I do
too
that.
far?
Nigga, anybody hitting somebody over with a folding chair multiple times is wilding. Unless that person like committed a crime, like
That's a hate crime.
Facts.
I feel you.
Them
Like,
fighting words.
you saying nigger? Like, what the fuck?
You letting a white
Is
person?
that really what
Yes,
happened? I thought it
bro.
was like they didn't want to move the boat.
No, that was part of the reason why the security guard came
And then
over.
let the nigga
and then
fly.
as a response, it's like, nigger. It's like, what the fuck?
I'll take it all back.
I was about to say,
you
bro.
think that
Bambi.
nigga swimming that shit for that?
You deserve that shit, Bambi. I'm sorry. Wait, did Bambi say it though?
It doesn't matter. Bambi was standing with them white people.
Hey man.
Nigga, if I was there,
Hey.
nigga, I don't know, bro. See, that's why. That's
It's been
the
fun.
Are you
thing, bro.
swimming? Are you swimming across the land, across the ocean?
That nigga's
Me,
a fucking
I'm about to say,
fast
you
ass
can't
swimmer,
swim.
bro.
Listen, I can't.
The
I
upper
can't.
body strength it
Bro,
took
to
to
come
get
out
onto
with
the
your
dock.
clothes drenched like
You
that,
feel
yo, that
me?
nigga's
That's
strong as
20
shit.
pounds added.
Apparently, that was
Easily.
a teenager too. No bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
Yo.
how. Yeah, must have been.
Next
That's how that
Michael
nigga got that
Phelps.
strength.
Hey man, it's been another episode of Bad for the Community. We appreciate you. It's been Rob the 508 guy. We got St. East to my right.
When
We
are
got
black
Nate
people gonna
Nix.
take over swimming?
Huh?
So when are black people gonna take over swimming?
When we have access to swimming pools at a young age.
Facts.
Oh, yeah,
You see
it's not
that?
necessarily-
You see
it's
how you
not-
understand this environment,
Facts,
that
right?
situation?
You're like,
Because they
bro,
got
black
the
kids don't
access.
want to swim.
I'm just saying, man, it's been fun.
Black
We
kids don't
fuck with
be
y'all.
wanting to
It's been
swim.
fun.
That's our fault. We need to swim. That's not even anything.
What
We
is
need to
that?
swim more.